This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. I love this set in the studio. I just want to say that out loud. It's Tuesday, December 14th. I am Tori. I'm in for myself today, and I'm here with Erica, Al, and Lindsay.
Let me tell everybody that was a weird sentence.
Go to cards. We're going to cards.
Yeah, the prompter was wrong, and you fixed it in the middle of it.
I sure did.
It ended up sounding weird to everybody else, but I was like, that was impressive.
You're impressed, aren't
Yes.
you?
Were you not going to come in earlier? And then
Well, she was supposed to be in for Erica, but Erica's here.
Yeah, so
well,
which version of Tori are we getting today?
Anyway, we're back. All right, a lot of you may have heard that we are doing a good job here. There have been a string of flash mob smash and grabs, some within as many as 100 people involved, mostly in California. So these robberies have hit stores in places like the Bay Area, Los Angeles, and now outside Minneapolis. Police are saying these crimes were organized on social media and committed by people who often did not know each other. This makes it ridiculously hard to catch and investigate suspects. Now, in response, check out what one well-known shopping center in Los Angeles did, the Grove. They put up this tangled tape. It's coil fencing to help protect stores, and it looks a little barbed wiry, let's be honest. Yeah. I just read some stores, including boutiques in LA and the Bay Area, are closing, which is horrible because it's the holiday season, and they need to somehow say, I'm only online. What do you think, Linz?
I listened to Biden's jobs report last week, and he was talking about how American families have more money now than they did last year and just are in a better financial space. But I think this story of all these robberies tell like a whole different story. I'm looking at things that happened. Like, we were in New York a couple weeks ago, and one of our favorite stores, the door was locked. So we assumed at 1 o'clock in the afternoon it was closed. And then the salesperson comes to the door, and they're like, no, we just had a smash and grab. Honestly, somebody came in and robbed all the stuff like around in the windows.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was crazy, because the more that I have friends that live in these big cities, and I'm sure it's happening in smaller cities, I'm hearing like people are going crazy, like getting robbed, just walking down the street in Houston, where Colin's family's from, there's people's cars getting robbed from the mall that he loves. And we're hearing these stories of friends telling us they saw this happen, or somebody got followed home with all their things that they bought for Christmas shopping and then killed in their home. And so these are recent news stories, and it makes me feel like maybe Americans are not doing as well as we're perceiving them to be doing, or something is off between that report and what I'm seeing.
And these social media organizations, it's really like, I don't know you, you don't know me, let's go, we'll never see each other again. That's hard to find.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. I think it's very short-sighted thinking, because that makes total sense.
Right.
I was actually like, oh, wow, like you don't even know who your co-conspirator is until somebody gets hurt or killed. Now you're on the hook for something as a group or a mob that you may not have signed up for. I'll tell you, in the past couple of weeks, I have been to many stores, and I have seen very blatant theft happening in front.
That's what I'm reading.
Blatant.
Wow. I'm reading
Like,
it.
I mean, where you're. One time I was standing at the standing with the cashier. This guy walked in. He had so much stuff. Things were falling like out of his hands. And he just casually walked out the door. And I looked at her, and then I'm like looking at the guy. She goes, there's nothing we can do.
That's what they're saying. They're saying there's literally, and when they overtake you with that many people out, what can you do?
You can't do anything.
You lock the doors.
Well, no, what you're going to do is you're going to put everything online.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, I think we're starting to see it a little bit with our kind of fast food business. We're starting to see them shut down the dining room, shut down the restroom area, and just either serve food or deliver food because of the people yelling, the anti-masker kind of people. And I think we're losing the privilege of saying when we talk about retail. If stores are getting robbed, if employees' lives are at stake or their physical health is at stake, they'll just shut it down and sell it online. So we'll have downtown shopping areas where every other one is store for rent signs, because we
can't handle it.
And also, let's be honest, this is a country that puts the American dream in your face, Lindsay. Come get this Mercedes. Come on, Erica, get this house. And you can't. There are things in place where you can't.
Yeah.
And so when you have that flat screen TV an inch from somebody's face, that diamond ring an inch from somebody's face, sometimes people are like, the only way I'm ever going to get that is to smash that glass.
Yeah.
And that's more of an indictment on our society.
And our inflation.
Well, I agree, but the online isn't exactly the answer either. Do you have neighbors or a ring? I mean, the idea of like somebody delivering something to your home,
right. Like you can't win.
It's like as soon as I hear or like see somebody approaching, I'm like out the door. store to pick up the package so some moron doesn't walk by and steal what I purchase. It's insane.
Well, let's talk about something a little lighter, hopefully, less gravity. Watch this. Good transition. Yesterday, we talked about Elon Musk's plan to build a futuristic self-contained city on Mars and to bring the animals and creatures of Earth there, sort of like a futuristic Noah's Ark. He said the goal was to make life planetary. I said it right. But experts are skeptical. They say it's a huge challenge to raise livestock on a planet without oxygen. I'm not laughing. I'm not editorializing
That's scientists
this. I'm laughing.
saying this is dumb.
Erica's laughing.
I'm laughing.
All right, Erica's laughing, pointing out that while humans are smart enough to wear oxygen breathing systems, animals might not be so keen on wearing oxygen masks. And they could fall off and they wouldn't be able to adjust. So they could go on to say we would just end up with a lot of dead animals.
What are we talking about here?
I feel like I'm on speed.
What are we really talking about? First of all, it's interesting to me that we're having this conversation about other life forms who do not have the ability to consent to this. Secondly, we're talking about Mars, okay? How many years does it take to get to Mars? Like, that's the objective that we're looking at right now.
It's I understand. To LA.
Why, let me ask you guys the obvious question. Why, if we can do that and save them there, why wouldn't we do it here?
Because we're a disposable society, Tori. When it's no longer of purpose or it's no longer helping us in any way, then we want to throw it away. So basically, it's like just throw the whole earth away.
I see it as this is just a man's God complex and his ego run amok. We're literally talking about Noah's Ark.
Oh my God!
Are you serious?
But
why are we entertaining this, Lindsay?
Why do we have to follow what he's saying? Like, it's not like it's going to become law. Like, he's
he
some
holds
tyrant.
a lot of power, though.
I know, but this is just his idea. Like, I don't think, to me, this just sounds like SpongeBob. And Sandy, if you watch that at all, she has a little helmet, she lives in the water. Like, this is all just an idea in his head that's not actually happening right now. Erica just said how far it takes to get to Mars, how long it takes to get to Mars. Like, this all might not happen in our lifetime.
But they put their life savings in stock that this man controls. And
that's a choice. Nobody collects life savings for stocks for Elon Musk by accident. That's like a whole choice. Yeah. So if you want to believe in that man,
so
you have the choice.
Is this just to get the stock price to go up?
Or plummet?
This is a person with big ideas spewing one of his crazy, yet big ideas.
I like the God complex. I'd never thought about that. Let there be light. Let me create a whole planet.
Right. I will lead you to the promised land.
Yeah,
we can't do the promised land here because we already have that. But Mars, that can be all mine. Yes. It's all about him, every one of his ideas. So.
And his haircut looks like real
interesting.
Strange. All right, coming up on DBL, Dermot Mulroney stopped by DBL. He told us about the latest and final season of Amazon's prime smash hit Hannah. But first, Dr. Coley is answering your medical questions, including the question on everyone's mind: why didn't Carrie dial 911 in the Sex and the City reboot?
This is
Stay with us. Even a defib thing. Coley.
Later.
Yeah.
Some people panic.
Captioning provided by We've All Got Some.
Okay, so someone just wrote in regarding smash and grabs. I'd put visibly armed security guards outside each door. I'd only let people inside one at a time, not in groups, and any thieves.
I'll say this. In other countries,
Where are we living now,
Well,
Al?
when you go to the bank, I've been to Costa Rica a lot. I have friends that live there. And when you would go to the banks, there would be 2 armed security guards with Uzis.
But I don't want to live like that. Do you? I don't want to listen. Do you? I don't want. She says no.
You say that, but it's amazing what you can get used to.
Yeah, you're totally.
And
like masks, I got used to.
Do you remember when right after was it 9/11 at the airport, they were the military was there with M16s?
You're totally. Oh, in D.C. they had dogs every time I went on.
But legit guns.
No, you're right. They had full arm, and you weren't allowed to stand up. But can I just be honest? Is this what Lindsay said is because of inflation and because we aren't doing as well? Is this due to stress? Is this due to consumerism, or is it all of the above? Because something has clearly shifted with the decency and sort of the all-around responsible community we felt we all had, right? Just the normal society standards we all had.
Are you saying that we're the first society that's had robberies?
No, I'm saying this is the first one. We're going kind of like Purge. It's becoming like that movie where there's no care.
What's worse, a flash mob that steals things or just a regular flash mob?
I love flash mobs. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't hear you. Is that how you feel about candy grams too? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, no. There's a pie lady here in Denver that comes to your house, sings show tunes, and she's a drag queen. She came to our house for the inauguration. It's
I'm turning 40 in January,
oh my God, it's the
y'all.
greatest thing.
Get me.
Pie
you
queen
have
if
a
you're in Denver.
Oh my God. With the aquaphor? You have to.
However you're celebrating, make DBL a part of your holiday cheer.
What's up, homie?
I can tell she was feeling something, I tell.
Erica blushed for Alfonso Ribeiro.
Would you have been cooking naked?
Cooking.
Yes, on our last show.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Am I right? Say yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got chills.
Me too.
Clearly.
DBL is always all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. Today marks the 1-year anniversary of the first COVID vaccine shot being given. Wow.
Amazing, right?
Wow.
Yeah. We should have balloons and
Yes.
maybe champagne.
Mazel tov to all of those people. But now experts are warning us of a potential explosion of the Omicron variant. Now, we do have Dr. Coley here to weigh in on that and more. So, Dr. Coley, with talk of a potential really explosion of COVID cases, what do you now consider to be, I'm fully vaccinated and not like Aaron Rodgers, like a real, what does that really mean?
Great question.
Thank you.
So I want to start by saying that the CDC has not released an official formal definition. In fact, just
That's
this
not
morning,
helpful.
Rochelle Walensky was asked on the Today Show, and she would not commit. But I'm going to commit. So, in my opinion, as a medical professional, fully vaccinated no longer means 2 doses of the messenger RNA vaccine. It means 2 doses of the messenger RNA plus your booster, or 1 dose of the DNA vaccine, which is Johnson & Johnson, plus a booster. And the reason is because the antibodies have just gone down. So you're not protected anymore with just those 2 or just that 1.
See, our doctor commits.
I like it. Well, you know, there's some good news because I keep hearing about this COVID pill. I've seen the headlines and I'm like, I don't know if that's clickbait. I don't know if I should click on that. But there's apparently good news with it. What is the COVID pill and what's the good news and should we take it?
So up until now, Al, we got sick with COVID. We just wait. We give tincture of time and see what happens. Now we have a treatment that could potentially be given to outpatients, so you don't have to go to hospital, and it could change the trajectory of the illness. So if it's taken within 3 days of your symptoms, it can reduce your chance of getting in the hospital or dying from COVID by 89%.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing,
Okay.
right?
Why is this not a bigger deal?
Well, it is a big deal, but the idea here is not let me just go and get COVID because it's going to be milder. The idea is we have now something for damage control. The other cool thing about this is it works to prevent viral replication. So we feel like the variants won't be as resistant to it because it's not involving that spike protein that's what's mutating.
We need to like brand it like COVID pills.
I think we should go with that.
Yeah.
I think you're wasting your talents here to be in advertising.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good way to wrap that on that COVID news, because I have a really serious question, Doc. So Sex and the City fans are really debating on if Mr. Big would still have been alive had Carrie just called 911 immediately after finding him in cardiac arrest. Now, one cardiologist is saying that had she called 911, that wouldn't have assured that he would still be alive. But I beg to differ, so I'm wondering what your medical opinion is.
And a defib. Ask your question. Wouldn't they have a defib?
Don't most buildings, especially a building where an apartment is $12 to $15 million, don't they have a defibrillator?
But who knows where that is?
It's in the lobby, Al.
Oh yeah, don't forget the defib location. What?
What are you talking about?
dude.
You know, first of all, that shows how long it's been since you've lived in a high rise, because we know where the defibrillator is in the high rise.
I just like that you think I lived in a high rise. Okay.
So I want to start by saying, of course, that I'm really sad that Mr. Big is gone because he was a good character. But remember, this is fictional. This is not real life. But I do think it teaches us some really important lessons, guys, many of which you've highlighted. The first is that heart disease is the #1 killer. So seeing somebody that we all know, we've known for so many years now through the television, die from heart disease, it's a real thing. And I think it makes it relatable. So that was a good message. Second, Erica, you are so right. Time is heart muscle. Time is recovery. If you see somebody in cardiac arrest, the first thing you do, start CPR and ask someone to call 911 while you're doing CPR. You don't stand there, you don't waste time, because that is, you know, potentially recoverable. The other thing is we don't have enough defibrillators around. I have to be honest with you. Do you guys know where the defibrillator is here in this building?
I'm sure Erica does.
I actually don't know. Actually, isn't it in the
lobby?
no, not the lobby. Isn't it in the
She's waiting
the
for you to answer.
cafeteria?
So here's my lesson. Wherever you work, wherever you go on a regular basis, you must know where that defibrillator is because you could save somebody's life.
So that's our goal today. Everybody out there watching, find out where in your house or the nearest defibrillator is, because this could have been maybe a saved situation, you're saying.
That's our goal today.
Yes, and the nice thing about hearts is when they stop, but they get defibrillated quickly, they wake up. But if you're not getting oxygen to the brain because you're not doing CPR and you don't get that heart restarted, you're not going to have recovery.
I know I've been kind of joking around a little, but I've always wanted to know this question. If somebody's not in cardiac arrest, but you use a defibrillator on them, could that be potentially really bad?
No, and I'm glad you asked me this because the defibrillator will tell you.
It tells you, yeah.
It knows what the rhythm is, and it says no shock advised.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you
It screams
put that
out at
thing
you,
on
right?
there. If somebody collapses, even if they're breathing, put that thing on there because their heart may end up stopping later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like back up, back up. It's like cool. I want to do it one day. Thank you, doctor. I really do. Now, if you have a question you want answered by Dr. Coley, write us on social media. You can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. Really good talk.
I never
about
knew that. That's cool.
Mr. Big, appreciate that. All right, we'll be right back.
Some school districts are starting to mandate students get the COVID-19 vaccine. One group opposed to the vaccine mandate in San Diego schools posted this picture on Instagram that has almost 2,000 likes, claiming a district is using syringe icons next to students' names to track vaccination status. The group claims the system violates their rights under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, better known as HIPAA. So let's verify. Are school districts subject to HIPAA rules? Our sources are the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. HIPAA is a federal law that protects a patient's sensitive health information from being shared without their knowledge. The CDC and HHS saying it only applies to 3 covered entities: healthcare providers, health plans, and clearinghouses, like billing companies. School districts are not on the list. In fact, HHS explicitly says, quote, "The privacy rule will not provide protections to the immunization records maintained by a school because the school is not a HIPAA-covered entity." So it's false that school districts are subject to HIPAA rules, although some states and local governments may have their own privacy rules that limit the sharing of student immunization records. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. You might know him from one of my favorites, the timeless hit My Best Friend's Wedding, or any one of his countless television roles on shows like the high-octane Prime Video action series Hannah. Earlier, we got to chat with actor Dermot Mulroney about the last season of Hannah. Take a look.
Dermot, let's jump right in. We want to know, who'd you pick to be your best friend today of your best friend wedding co-stars, Julia Roberts or Cameron Diaz?
No, that's not even fair. That's that's divisive thinking. I love them both. If you mean Cameron and Julia, try me. There's no way to answer.
I think that's answered by a true pro. True pro right there. I love it.
So what makes Julia's laugh so infectious to you?
Well, noted that Cameron has one also, so that answers the previous question on that.
There you go.
Makes it further even more difficult to answer either of these, but it's a glorious thing when you see it on film. Each of them, or any actor's face that breaks like that with such a beautiful authenticity.
What was it like training with your Hannah co-star Esme Creed Miles?
Well, here too, you're asking about a person I adore. She's incredible talent. I know we'll see wild and wonderful things from her. What you see in Hannah, I guess I'm just going to spoiler alert the whole series. We know it's coming to an end after this season. And in case people weren't watching, this is about a young woman in her path to embracing her own true identity. She's been manipulated by the institution, by the man that I play, who designed her whole, even her DNA has been manipulated. Her entire life, she's been told who to be. And so now that's no longer the case. Season 3, she starts as her own undercover agent from within this institution to tear it down. And she's assigned me. She shot me in the arm at the end of season 2. Now she's got me inside my own program as a spy who's now a mole. So it's really a fun series and a great character they gave me to work with this terrific, super talented young actress, Esme.
I love it. And Hannah looks like a super physically demanding show to work on. So how nerve-wracking is it to perform the stunts?
You do see my character come out from behind the desk where he spent much of season 2. The whole mess that he created in a moment of, an alcoholic and alcohol-induced blunder. That's what he was trying to protect his program from having been loose lipped. So I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but I can. And so now he's trying to clean up his mess, and the mission is on. So the program is to send out my charges, these young wolf DNA-enhanced female assassins, to go take out the future threats to the U.S. government. So that's the deal with Hannah 3. But it has deeper meaning. It's not hard to find in there, especially who tells who how to be anymore.
Absolutely. Dermot, it has been a pleasure. Professionalism, I love it. I love
the
it.
best description of a show I have ever heard.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here for it.
Too is because it's really dear to me, and the character that I got to play has more twists than I even described there. So enjoy it out there.
All right, well, thanks for chatting with DBL today. And for everyone at home, check out the third and final, very, very important season of Hannah, streaming right now on Prime Video. It's been a pleasure. We'll be right back.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, my pleasure.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Omicron being named a variant of concern. Health officials are encouraging people to get vaccinated and boosted against COVID-19. As cold and flu season ramps up, recent online searches show some people are wondering if they can still get their vaccine shots if they're experiencing cold symptoms. So let's verify. Is it safe to get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have a cold? Our sources are the CDC, the White House, Dr. Katrina Miller-Parrish, a family physician at LA Care Health Plan, and Dr. William Schaffner at the Vanderbilt University School of Medicine.
If you have mild symptoms of a cold and are just feeling a little bit out of sorts, it's perfectly fine to go ahead and get your influenza vaccination or your COVID vaccination, whether it's your first dose or your third, it doesn't matter. Go ahead, get that vaccine.
However, if your symptoms are severe, like a fever over 100 degrees, Dr. Parrish tells Verify it's best to wait it out a bit.
There are two main times when you should not go get the vaccine. If you are so sick that you can barely get out the door, probably not a good time to be going out in public, and probably not a good time to get the vaccine.
She says the other main time is if you have COVID-19 or have been exposed to it. Then she recommends staying home to minimize contact with others. So it's true. You can still get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have cold symptoms, as long as they're mild. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
I was looking over some chickens, and I see these big poof bags. This means these bags were left without refrigeration.
This TikTok video with nearly 2 million likes claims frozen chicken in puffed up bags is spoiled. The viral post has spread to Twitter, where users claim that puffed up bags can be attributed to the meat deteriorating and releasing gas. So let's verify. Does frozen chicken in puffed up packaging mean the meat is spoiled? Our sources are Purdue Foods, the National Chicken Council, and the United States Department of Agriculture. The woman in the viral video is standing next to a bag of Purdue chicken. The company sells its chicken in a variety of packaging, including frozen in bags. Packaging methods for meat and poultry must be approved by the United States Department of Agriculture. According to Purdue, the puffiness of the bag is a USDA-approved packing method that pumps ambient air into the bag before sealing it. In an email to Verify, a spokesperson for the company explained that the puffiness of the bags actually indicates the packaging is properly sealed. The National Chicken Council agreed that the frozen chicken packaging seen in the video is a USDA-approved process with no food safety concern. According to the USDA, a consumer can tell if chicken is spoiled by looking for changes in the poultry's smell, taste, or texture. It says meat or poultry may turn a dark color, smell badly, and become slimy due to spoilage bacteria. It does not say anything about the packaging as an indicator of spoilage. So we can verify, no. A puffed up bag of frozen chicken doesn't mean the poultry is spoiled. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Listen, this past couple of years has been so crazy. Let's express gratitude for this year and all of the amazing gifts that are coming in 2022.
This year, let's try and put aside all of our differences and just be together and really be present in the moment.
From the Showman's, happy holidays!
From me and my family, we truly want to thank you over the years how much support you've given me and our whole team.
I know the holiday season can be difficult for some, and I just want to let you all know that you're not alone, and I'm wishing you a holiday season full of love and light.
From all of us here at Daily Blast Live,
we want to wish you
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And a healthy new year.
and my baby said happy holidays.
I needed that so badly.
Yeah.
I needed that so badly. Lovely.
Great job.
Great
by
job,
everyone
guys.
that shot and edited that. That was everybody up here is like, woo.
We were
wasn't ready for that one.
Nobody
Wow.
gives you the heads up, and I'm like done crying.
Are you like all out of tears?
Yeah, it's not happening anymore for the rest of the year.
Got it.
It's only a couple more weeks. I think I can hold it down.
We're going to cut some onions, see if that's true. All right, welcome back. If you're hoping to avoid the holiday weight gain this season, we've got some tips. We're chatting about it in DBL's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. So according to experts, exercise snacking is a perfect way to ensure you fit enough exercise into your busy holiday schedule. So they recommend doing short bursts of exercise 2 or 3 times a day. You could do 5 minutes of squats while cooking, jumping jacks in between even wrapping presents, and QB is another great way to get in some quick exercise. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. That's smart.
That's great. Great advice, especially during the holidays.
Yeah.
Get the blood moving.
Get the blood moving. All right, DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
The big fight is about gerrymandering. That's when congressional maps are drawn to benefit one party. Democrats point to districts like this one in Texas, whereas Republicans, including Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, point to the congressional map of Maryland. So let's verify, is partisan gerrymandering legal? Our sources are the Brennan Center for Justice, the Supreme Court case of Rucho versus Common Cause, and this trio of political experts who say political gerrymandering has a long history in this country.
It was named after a governor. Elbridge Gerry is actually his name, but we've softened the G over time. He was able to draw a district that the reporters very quickly noticed looked a little bit like a salamander, so they called it a gerrymander.
And since then, this process has been replicated many times, and by both parties.
Both Democrats and Republicans do this. Whether you're deep blue Illinois or, a red state like Texas, all parties and in all states at some point over time have utilized partisan gerrymandering.
And in 2019, the Supreme Court weighed in, ruling that partisan gerrymandering could not be challenged in the court. and that the process was up to the states. And while some states have created neutral political commissions, 33 still leave this process to the state legislatures. So we could verify that yes, partisan gerrymandering is allowed. But there are limits. The Voting Rights Act protects against gerrymandering meant to discriminate against race, although that could be hard to prove.
Partisanship is sometimes tied to race, and if states can gerrymander based on partisanship, they're also able to gerrymander based on race.
Here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Flash mob robberies are hitting big retail stores across the country. Could social media be to blame for the violent theft? How a woman picked up the pieces when her mother left her at just 16. We're talking to her live. Should Carrie have called 911 on And Just Like That? Dr. Coley is now weighing in on the scene, sparking outrage online. And Brooke Shields is smashing aging norms. Her candid new interview about sex at 56.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No.
Just stop. Finally here, drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, December 14th. I'm Sam here with Al, Eric, and Tori. We were having quite the conversation right before.
Yeah,
always.
Yes.
Always. Our viewers understood. Actually, we always keep it 100 with you guys. You guys see us unfiltered all the time. Okay, so let's get to a story that actually a lot of our viewers have a lot to say about. In fact, I'm reading your comments as we speak. As a lot of you may have heard, there have been a string of flash mob smash and grabs, some with as many as 100 people involved. And these robberies have hit stores in places like the Bay Area, Los Angeles, and outside Minneapolis. Well, now police are saying these crimes were actually organized on social media and committed by people who don't even know each other, because this makes it much harder to catch and investigate the suspects. Now, in response, check out what one very well-known center, we all know this center, it's called the Grove, it's in Los Angeles. This is what they did. They used tangled tape. So it's like a coil, a fencing, and it helps protect the stores. Tori, you're shaking your head. What are you thinking?
I don't know if this is going too far, and I want your opinion. Obviously, inflation is an issue, and maybe this is why we're seeing this rash. I get the social media because it's an easier thing to do. But can I just ask a question to you guys? Do you feel like there's a rip in like just the basic social decency of our community? Of like, now I know that stores are closing down, they have guards, they can't be there for the holiday season, all because of just like ransacking. I feel like I'm in the movie Purge sometimes, and I'm like, are we losing just the basic responsibilities we have to each other to enjoy a shopping mall without barbed wire? Like, are we there? And am I going too far? Because I feel like we're there. The things in the sky with the airplanes. I just feel like this isn't what I want to see. And I don't want to hear that like boutiques can't go, they have to go online now because they're just coming in, they're overtaking it. Have we lost just the social
I just wonder, would we say the same thing if we didn't know that you could go into a boutique and buy something in there? I think your mentality changes when you know, because like I always say, this country is so good at throwing the American dream, not in your face, but keeping it right there, Erica. Do you want this Lexus? Look at the TV. Do you have a flat screen this big, Erica? How many years of you growing up for you seeing all this stuff that you can't buy, all the stuff your dad never had, all the shoes your mom never owned, before you go, oh, there's just a plated glass between me and that diamond necklace that I could never have? Well, then I don't care about your rules, because your rules have it set up where I can never get those things. So I'm going to go the other way. And I think that's what people are doing. I'm not defending it. I'm just talking about the mindset. They don't care about your rules. Because where were the rules when what's her name wanted to get into college? There were no rules there. Olivia.
But why is it not happening in Europe? Why is this?
Because maybe they take care of their people. And again, I'm not jumping on that train either.
Right.
I do not want to condone.
Defending criminal behavior.
This.
I'm talking about the mindset.
Right. But we're trying to understand it, right? Why are people motivated to do this now as opposed to Tori's point, 10, 20, 30 years ago?
Right.
And maybe it's just being more sensationalized. I don't think that's the case. Usually I'd say maybe we're seeing more of this, Erica, because people have cell phones and cameras. I actually think people don't have respect because they don't feel respected. again, not defending it. What do you think, Erica?
Yeah, I think we're having a much different conversation if people were doing this at the grocery store. But we're talking about luxury items that, yeah, are not accessible to most people. I find it interesting because in the past couple of weeks, I've been out to the malls, I've been out to different stores. I have seen such brazen theft. Just
really?
Right? Yes. My husband and I were at the mall last week, and I took a step back because I saw this girl, and I saw her, like I was watching every move she made because I thought it was so fascinating. And she looked like she was completely inconspicuous, but she was just walking around. She would take something, put it, like then all of a sudden she would pop out, it would be gone. She'd take something else, and then she waited. She stopped before she went through the detectors. And because she stopped, I stopped, because really she was waiting for all of us to walk through the detectors together. And I was like,
Wow. So is that entitlement then? Because again, I don't want to defend it. I know a lot of boutiques and small business owners, and I'm not defending it, but I know that they are trying to support their family too. I'm not talking about like the big box stores. Not to say that the big box stores that should happen.
Yeah, no one deserves it.
No one deserves it, but maybe it's entitlement. I don't know.
Or just a lack of like what we see in the airplanes now. And we're like, why is this happening? I just wonder if this is an all-around environment for America of a loss of decency.
Right.
Well,
No,
of course
I think
it's
it's
a
all of
loss of decency.
But
think all of it can be
morally,
true.
are we lowering our standards to a very dangerous level? We have barbed wire at the Grove. That's crazy.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Well, we got one more crazy story for you. Yesterday, we talked about Elon Musk's plan to build a futuristic self-contained city on Mars and his idea to bring the animals and creatures of Earth there, sort of like a futuristic Noah's Ark. He said the goal was to make life multiplanetary, but experts are skeptical. In fact, most of the experts that I read say, no, this is not going to happen, at least not for a long time. They say that it's a huge challenge to raise livestock on a planet without oxygen, pointing out that while humans are smart enough to wear oxygen breathing systems, animals might not be so keen on wearing oxygen masks, and they could just easily fall off. So they go on to say it could end up with a lot of dead animals. You think it also takes 7 months to get up there. It's minus 80 degrees on Mars.
Yeah, we're currently in the middle of one man's fever dream to be God.
He's
but he has a straight up obvious God complex that has manifested itself to the point where he is talking about taking Noah's Ark with animals up to a planet that nobody wants to go to.
That's so true.
No disrespect, there's states that people don't want to go to, much less Mars. So like stop, and like I think we tend to romanticize people like Elon Musk, the people with these crazy ideas, but I'm really kind of into the doers now, Erica, the engineers that help us get to realistic goals. So I'm out on this.
You need visionaries.
I don't even know what we're talking about. I really don't. I don't understand. Like, first of all, who's taking a 7-month trip anywhere? I mean, if my flight is delayed, I have an attitude. I mean, this is so ridiculous. And the idea that we're going to go to another planet and take non-consenting beings with us is ludicrous. It's like essentially we're just like, oh, okay, well we didn't mess up. Let's just throw the whole Earth away.
Yeah,
like what is that?
With saving our own planet first.
I was just gonna say, am I crazy to think maybe fix this? Like, is that crazy?
But that doesn't get headlines. So you got to go Mars, Noah's Ark, and then we're talking about it.
Well, yeah, but the stocks are gonna, at this point, remember when he smoked something on air?
You
and
can
his
say marijuana on television.
Well, sorry. And stocks went down when people don't like crazy, and the stocks will show that. Maybe he wants to, but watch Tesla and watch other things like SpaceX go. We'll see. People don't like crazy.
It was down today.
They like you, Tori.
Yeah.
Coming up on DBL, have you ever faked an illness to get out of house chores? What about a party? We're going to debate if faking sick is even ethical. But first, Dr. Coley is answering your medical questions, including the question on everyone's mind: why didn't Carrie dial 911 in the Sex and the City reboot? Stay with us.
Closed captioning provided by
We've all got something.
I've never been.
Oh my God.
Is that why they put?
Yes, it's
Right,
we're
Breaking
talking
Bad
about
there?
just
Yeah. No, they have studios have tax free.
right.
But they
Yeah.
also had the set be there.
And
Yes.
there's Anthony.
Oh yeah, no.
Hey.
Good to see. Good morning.
Anthony
I was gonna give
is
you a chance to
our
go over.
casually. He's one of those people that's casually dopely dressed. We're like
Wait,
it's
I think, can I say
it's
something?
not
I
flashy.
think he's my,
It's
I
like
think he's my secret Santa.
How do I say that again? Omicron.
he can hear you.
Will you put
Are you my
OMA
Secret
for
Santa?
me? Because
Yep,
I will say it
Oma.
wrong.
Secret Santa.
Yep.
Are you my secret Santa? Secret Santa.
Thank you. Yep.
Anthony Harsko.
I hope he's going right to HR.
No.
You can lie.
Well, he didn't even respond.
You don't have to respond.
Wow.
But oh, I thought it.
a rule where you have to,
That's true.
But then
how do you know?
But then you're only allowed to ask. You should only.
three yeses.
But there's how many people in here? You can.
I like that you're
narrow
making it
down.
into a game. Yeah. I like that better, actually.
Is it bad that I didn't do Secret Santa this year?
Rude.
I didn't
yes.
do it.
Yes.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what, Erica? You've been through a lot.
I don't have time.
I like how there was two different responses for me. Rude. Oh, you know what? You're
But
fine.
Erica
You're
has
fine.
been through a lot. So have you.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I
One more
just
thing
couldn't
on your
get it
plate.
You
together
gotta
this
pick
year.
and choose.
had a choice.
Yeah, you can. Alex said it's up to you to sign
Well,
up.
usually something
You
just
have to
shows up
opt
on your
in.
desk.
I
and you're
would
like, oh,
have,
God.
but I missed the deadline. It's just been.
Yeah.
I'm throwing this whole year away. How about that? This is my countdown
No,
to a better year.
I would tell you.
Maybe I'll bring
You know
some
me. I
food in.
can't lie. I can't lie for the life of me.
Sam has like a real thing where she's like that movie Liar Liar. She literally cannot lie.
Wait, do you know why? It's
you
more
cannot.
selfish because I do believe in karma.
Oh.
So it's more self-serving.
Well, I think when you don't lie, it makes it, Judge Judy, she always says, if you're telling the truth,
She's
you
a
don't
human,
have to think.
She's a human
You don't
lie
have to-
detector.
yeah,
What if
she-
she's a lie to protect someone? Welcome back to DBL. So today marks the 1-year anniversary of the first COVID vaccine shot being given. But now experts are warning us of a potential explosion of the Omicron variant. We have Dr. Coley here to weigh in on that and much more. Thank you for joining us. You look beautiful, by the way, today.
Oh, thank you.
So with the potential...
I think I look good.
You always look good.
Thank you. You didn't say it.
You always got to make it about you, Albert.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry, Dr. Coley. So
well, we have our holiday colors here.
That's
don't
right, we do.
You do look very festive.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Dr. Coley. With the potential of a lot of COVID cases, like a lot of people are calling it a quote-unquote explosion, what do you consider to be fully vaccinated?
My opinion, guys, is that you have to have your 2 messenger RNA doses and the booster because those first 2 doses are just not enough. Now, if you got the Johnson & Johnson, then you need that plus a booster as well. But the CDC is really hedging on this, and I'm not sure I understand why. Because I think as the virus is evolving, our definition of fully vaccinated has to evolve.
It's a good point. Yeah, I mean, and I do like that we have a doctor here kind of also questioning science and showing people that we don't know all the answers. This is an evolving process. So speaking of evolving process, I never clicked on the articles that would come up that would say there's a COVID pill coming because I really thought it was clickbait. I didn't think it was real, but it's on our prompter now, so it's pretty real. What should people know about it? Like, is this like going to help people going forward?
It's going to help so much. It is such an important tool. Prevention is the vaccines, right?
Right.
But if you do all your best to prevent, you get boosted and you still get infected. Before, we had nothing. We would just wait for the illness to play itself out. Now we have a pill that taken within 3 days of symptom onset has an 89% less likelihood of ending you up in the hospital or dying. So this is huge. But you have to get diagnosed early, right?
Right.
So when you feel those symptoms, rely on that testing to make sure you get diagnosed early, get started on this medication.
Can you believe it's
early.
been a year since the first COVID shot?
I was thinking
Does it
that
feel
might be in like
short or
history
long?
books.
It should be. It's so life-saving, you know?
I mean, science has been so incredible over the last year. And I look back on last year and now, and people get upset because they say we're still wearing masks and we're still socially distancing. But guys, holidays last year, remember? Yeah. We had nothing.
That was my point. And everybody's doom and gloom. I'm like, I hugged my mama.
Right.
Like twice this year. Like I don't know what, thank you, scientists. Are you guys kidding me?
Well,
I saw
look
my
at the lives
auntie.
that are being saved. I mean, our
poor Eric, who passed away a few weeks ago, wasn't lucky enough to get the vaccine.
Right.
So it's been a year, and all this is happening in my mind in real time. Wow, it's been a year. Eric was a healthcare worker. He got sick January 15th. He was intubated, which means he was just a few days away probably from receiving that life-saving vaccine.
Yeah.
So I just want people to really appreciate that here in this country, we have the privilege of receiving a vaccine because it is life-saving. And I know a lot of people aren't so lucky, including my brother-in-law.
I appreciate you saying that, Sam, because I always think about that when it comes to my aunt, too. Like, she was so close.
She was so close.
That's, you know, we have these conversations, and it's like, it's not about politics. It's about who's not here. And that's a real conversation. So I want to bring some levity.
Yes, please.
And thank you for getting us up to speed on COVID. So important. I'm sorry, I have to make this transition. So as Sex and the City fans, there's a really big debate happening about if Carrie would have just called 911 the moment that she realized that Big was experiencing cardiac arrest, that she could have saved his life. Now, one cardiologist is saying that she could have called 911 and it wouldn't have helped. So what's your medical opinion about this?
So I'm a Sex and the City fan too. And I was sad that Mr. Big is gone. But in a way, because he's a fictional character, I'm really happy that they did this because it highlights a lot of really important teaching points about heart disease. So the first one, guys, heart disease is the #1 killer. Even last year with all the COVID that we had.
Men and women?
Men and women. Yes, year after year after year. And the way that Mr. Big died is the way that a lot of people die from heart disease, is with a cardiac arrest. So remember that, because he's a relatable, he was almost part of our families, right? Because we've known him for so long, and we lost him to heart disease. Number 2, Erica, to your point, yes, time is heart muscle. And out-of-hospital cardiac arrests have a very poor prognosis in general. But if you can get that heart started again with a defibrillator, if you can do CPR, you can save somebody's life. In fact, that's the great thing about the heart. It's so resilient. It really does bounce back. And the third thing I think to take away from this is that exercise does not cause heart attacks. And I'm a little disappointed that they presented it with him on the Peloton. But I do think you should keep in mind that exercise actually in the long term protects your heart. Now, before you start exercise, of course, talk to your doctor, make sure it's safe for you. But I think that this episode illustrated so many important things about heart disease.
It's good to know. Yeah. Coming from a cardiologist. Thank you, doctor. If you guys have a question you want answered by Dr. Coley, please write us on social media, and you can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. We'll be right back.
This holiday.
Some school districts are starting to mandate students get the COVID-19 vaccine. One group opposed to the vaccine mandate in San Diego schools posted this picture on Instagram that has almost 2,000 likes, claiming a district is using syringe icons next to students' names to track vaccination status. The group claims the system violates their rights under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, better known as HIPAA. So let's verify. Are school districts subject to HIPAA rules? Our sources are the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. HIPAA is a federal law that protects a patient's sensitive health information from being shared without their knowledge. The CDC and HHS saying it only applies to 3 covered entities: healthcare providers, health plans, and clearinghouses, like billing companies. School districts are not on the list. In fact, HHS explicitly says, quote, "The privacy rule will not provide protections to the immunization records maintained by a school because the school is not a HIPAA-covered entity." So it's false that school districts are subject to HIPAA rules, although some states and local governments may have their own privacy rules that limit the sharing of student immunization records. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Do you use getting sick as an excuse to get out of things? A new survey showed that a large percentage of young adults use being sick or even just the sniffles to get out of adulting. Large majorities say that they use an illness to get out of laundry, going grocery shopping, and cleaning up their room, leaving it to roommates, partners, or parents to pick up the slack. Let's put age aside. Have any of you ever done this either currently or in the past? Starting with Tori.
I used to do this a ton, a lot, and I think it was coming, no joke, from a mom who was sick, and I would get attention, and I remember one person, I wore my hospital bracelet like the next day, you know, to be like, look, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, and he goes, that's not a good thing. And then from then on, I realized, I gotta be actively work at not doing this, because it's easy to fall into, it's easy to get away from things, and it's easy to get attention. So be careful out there.
Yeah,
I took it to a bummer.
No, it's good, and it's nice for you to like be honest with yourself and other people about it. When I was younger, of course I did this to get out of school, but as I've gotten older, you know, your health is your wealth, and I don't feel like being a self-fulfilling prophecy is something that I want to put on myself. So just know that if I call in sick and then I'm sick.
Right.
Like there's something going on and I can't be here.
Yep. Albert.
Well, let's take it domestically for a second, and I think I can only speak for dudes in this situation.
You mean like, oh, honey, I have a headache, not tonight.
The whole like, I don't want to do the laundry. No, I think that was, I think that was about 7 hours early. But you know, I think a lot of times it's been like kind of, we see it in TV and movies, men are like, oh, I don't want to do the laundry, I don't want to do the dishes. And it's this mentality that that's okay for men to say, but it's like, you live here too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Your partner lives here too, or your 4 roommates, and you are going to create an energy in that house. When you stop doing the dishes and you leave nasty stuff around, there's an energy. So like, if it's worth it to you to not do the laundry, to like have weirdness in the living room, then have at it, but it's easier to just do the dishes and then you're not arguing.
You actually feel better about yourself, at least for me personally. Of course, when I was younger, like you two, I did it all the time. I would take the thermometer, put it on like light bulb, stick it under my armpit, do what I had to do to not go to school that day. But to Erica's point, I really do believe that we're self-fulfilling prophecy, so I'm very careful. Like even when I'm sick, I won't say I'm sick. I'll say that I'm healing.
Which is good.
Interesting.
I'm healing right now. That's cool. Because stop it out.
Words manifest.
Yeah, but I have been guilty of like the headache excuse once in a while.
Hey, that's honest.
Just once in a while. Once in a while, and then I make it up later. Hey-o.
All right.
Hey-o. Are we supposed to be honest on the show?
Yeah, let's keep going until we're not on the air tomorrow. No, I
will say this, though.
I like that.
It is a little bit, and again, I hate to take it to bummer time, I'm just going to say, for people who are actually really sick, it also is sort of a slap in the face to them. My mom was always like, really? Like, she was really sick, and I'm like, Mom, get together. So I just wanted to offer that as well.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tori. We're sharing your comments next. Don't go away.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Omicron being named a variant of concern. Health officials are encouraging people to get vaccinated and boosted against COVID-19. As cold and flu season ramps up, recent online searches show some people are wondering if they can still get their vaccine shots if they're experiencing cold symptoms. So let's verify. Is it safe to get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have a cold? Our sources are the CDC, the White House, Dr. Katrina Miller-Parrish, a family physician at LA Care Health Plan, and Dr. William Schaffner at the Vanderbilt University School of Medicine.
If you have mild symptoms of a cold and are just feeling a little bit out of sorts, it's perfectly fine to go ahead and get your influenza vaccination or your COVID vaccination. Whether it's your first dose or your third, it doesn't matter. Go ahead, get that vaccine.
However, if your symptoms are severe, like a fever over 100 degrees, Dr. Parrish tells Verify it's best to wait it out a bit.
There are 2 main times when you should not go get the vaccine. If you are so sick that you can barely get out the door, probably not a good time to be going out in public, and probably not a good time to get the vaccine.
She says the other main time is if you have COVID-19 or have been exposed to it. Then she recommends staying home to minimize contact with others. So it's true. You can still get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have cold symptoms, as long as they're mild. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
I was looking over some chickens and I see these big poof bags. This means these bags were left without refrigeration.
This TikTok video with nearly 2 million likes claims frozen chicken in puffed up bags is spoiled. The viral post has spread to Twitter where users claim that puffed up bags can be attributed to the meat deteriorating and releasing gas. So let's verify. Does frozen chicken in puffed up packaging mean the meat is spoiled? Our sources are Purdue Foods, the National Chicken Council, and the United States Department of Agriculture. The woman in the viral video is standing next to a bag of Purdue chicken. The company sells its chicken in a variety of packaging, including frozen in bags. Packaging methods for meat and poultry must be approved by the United States Department of Agriculture. According to Purdue, the puffiness of the bag is a USDA-approved packing method that pumps ambient air into the bag before sealing it. In an email to Verify, a spokesperson for the company explained that the puffiness of the bags actually indicates the packaging is properly sealed. The National Chicken Council agreed that the frozen chicken packaging seen in the video is a USDA-approved process with no food safety concern. According to the USDA, a consumer can tell if chicken is spoiled by looking for changes in the poultry's smell, taste, or texture. It says meat or poultry may turn a dark color, smell badly, and become slimy due to spoilage bacteria. It does not say anything about the packaging as an indicator of spoilage. So we can verify, no. A puffed up bag of frozen chicken doesn't mean the poultry is spoiled. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Listen, this past couple of years has been so crazy. Let's express gratitude for this year and all of the amazing gifts that are coming in 2022.
This year, let's try and put aside all of our differences and just be together and really be present in the moment.
From the Shulmans, happy holidays!
From me and my family, we truly want to thank you over the years how much support you've given me and our whole team.
I know the holiday season can be difficult for some, and I just want to let you all know that you're not alone, and I'm wishing you a holiday season full of love and light.
From all of us here at Daily Blast Live,
we want to wish you
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And a healthy new year.
and my baby said happy holidays.
I'm like teary-eyed.
Yes.
Family.
Absolutely we are. It's a weird thing where we started the show and we were kind of, I remember when we got the news that it was the show and like I got texts like congrats and I was like, who is this?
Yeah, it was like
because it was just like a 312 number and now literally when I have something to talk about in terms of like with my daughter, like life and death, I call Erica. When I have something to talk about spiritually, I call Sam. When I just want to laugh a little bit, I'll call Tori or Jeff. And I really appreciate you guys as my family. So just looking at that, it makes perfect sense.
We're lucky. We
Very
really
lucky.
are. And our viewers, it's so interesting. I know people like hear other like hosts or talk show hosts say our viewers are family. Our viewers are legit family.
Yeah.
Like we love you guys and we wish you the best Christmas, holiday, and a healthy new year.
Absolutely.
If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. You can watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. Lisa Renna's daughter wants her mom to foot the bill for her trauma therapy. We want to hear from you. Is she in the right? And Brooke Shields bears all in her new interview why she claims her sex life continues to evolve at 56.
Political fights are full of spin. That's why we verify, so you get just the facts. Right now on social media, the big fight is about gerrymandering. That's when congressional maps are drawn to benefit one party, Democrats point to districts like this one in Texas, whereas Republicans, including Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, point to the congressional map of Maryland. So let's verify, is partisan gerrymandering legal? Our sources are the Brennan Center for Justice, the Supreme Court case of Rucho versus Common Cause, and this trio of political experts who say political gerrymandering has a long history in this country.
It was named after a governor. Elbridge Gerry is actually his name, but we've softened the G over time. He was able to draw a district that the reporters very quickly noticed looked a little bit like a salamander, so they called it a gerrymander.
And since then, this process has been replicated many times, and by both parties.
Both Democrats and Republicans do this.
Whether you're deep blue Illinois or, a red state like Texas, all parties and in all states at some point over time have utilized partisan gerrymandering.
And in 2019, the Supreme Court weighed in, ruling that partisan gerrymandering could not be challenged in the court, and that the process was up to the states. And while some states have created neutral political commissions, 33 still leave this process to the state legislatures. So we could verify that yes, partisan gerrymandering is allowed. But there are limits. The Voting Rights Act protects against gerrymandering meant to discriminate against race, although that could be hard to prove.
Partisanship is sometimes tied to race, and if states can gerrymander based on partisanship, they're also able to gerrymander based on race.
Here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. All right, Tori just found her badge.
Thank you.
To get into the building, and it was a whole ordeal. Okay.
We're good.
All right, let's get to Brooke Shields. She's bearing all about her sex life. So Brooke, who is 56, recently revealed to Yahoo Life, she looks fantastic, by the way, that she looks at sex differently now than she did in her 20s. Watch.
Sex for me has really evolved. My 20s, I was always terrified of it because I was a virgin until I was 22. I thought I was committing an offense to, humanity for being a Catholic, not married, and I had so much guilt. And it wasn't until my 40s that I started thinking of sex as my experience, not someone else's experience that I just navigated.
Brooke also said she wants her teen daughters to feel more in control of their own sexual experience. That's interesting. What do you think about Brooke's sex evolution and then what she wants for her teens?
I look at Brooke Shields as someone who was exploited at a very young age. I mean, she was directed to act out sexually, and then she was shamed for it for quite some time. So there's really no wonder in why she would have reservations about how she viewed sex or how sex played a part in her life. But at the end of the day, she's clearly had this evolution and been able to shepherd her daughters to take ownership, because when you don't take ownership, you're not admitting exactly what you're doing. When you are sexually active, it also heightens the risk of not protecting yourself, because you can't be ready to protect yourself from something that you're not ready to admit that you're doing.
That's very true. I also want to say women over 50 have still got it. I mean, come on. Let's just say they're the new, people are like, oh, over 50. Sex is great for them, I've heard, okay? Just honestly. But second, I'd like to say
Where did you hear that?
From people.
Okay.
I do want to say, secondly, I like the language you use, speaking about words manifesting. I want to own my sexual experience. And earlier, we were talking about, losing my virginity, taking my virginity.
Right.
Owning that is a word I had not thought of. And just like you guys always tell me, words manifest. It is a different thing when you have agency over it. I have choices over it. I have preferences, but it's not like somebody took it away from me. So I think that was helpful to me. Yeah. Very helpful.
I agree. And you're right. It's not something that you guard your virginity. And also, I think it's inherent upon this generation, our generation, that's raising children, to not repeat things that we were taught that were not correct. Even if the people that we were taught by, we still love and respect, we'd be like, I don't know about that, uncle. I don't know about that, Granny. You know, we kind of filter that stuff. We take the stuff we liked and we put that into our kids, and the stuff that we didn't, we kind of remove that. And I think that's what she's doing with her daughters here. So good on her.
I'm nervous about navigating that with my Sophie and Miles. It's so funny how we always think about the daughter when we should think about the boys too, right? Or the young men, whatever. But I get nervous because I want to teach Sophie at some point, and I'll have to consult with some sort of psychologist because I don't know when is age appropriate, because I don't want them to think it's okay to be sexually active, but I also don't want them to be fearful and then not protect themselves. So I know you taught sex ed. Right. I don't know when that talk is supposed to happen, or if you just date.
Well, it's different for everybody. And like teaching sex ed, I did realize that like when I used to put the old video on, The Miracle of Life, and some students would be like, oh my gosh, turning away. And other students would be sitting there like, all right. You know, because they're at different stages of development because we are all different. So just understand that all you can do for Sophie, all you can do for Miles, is just like give them the tools that when they are ready, they will have a chance to realize they're ready, and you'll have given them the tools. But you can't figure out the day it's going to happen.
Right. All right.
Wow.
I love that I went to Al for sex and parenting advice.
Oh.
But no,
I taught 47 graders at a time about sex ed. Yes, it's a real thing.
Okay, so Billie Eilish, speaking of sex, is opening up about it. Speaking to Howard Stern, Billie said she started watching adult films when she was only 11, but now finds that pornography is a disgrace. She added that when she started having sex, she didn't say no to things because she thought that was what she was supposed to be attracted to. She also said the films often distort how women's bodies are supposed to look. I'm so glad she's bringing this up. You have a serious look on your face. What are you thinking?
I don't think Howard Stern was the appropriate place for this conversation about how an 11-year-old girl was watching pornography, as pornography is used as a tool to groom.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit well with you at all.
But it's like, unfortunately or fortunately, this is the only place where people usually open up.
Right.
You know, if she's pushing a new album, she's not going to talk about this. Howard Stern does give people a chance to open up about abuse, drug issues, and things like that. But I completely agree. Eric, I think the question is for our society is like, when do you have this conversation and with who? Because I have a 13-year-old son who's more childlike, and my daughter, who's not an adult at all, is further along than him. So how do I navigate that? As an adult and as a parent, I think we need to say we don't know. But, you know, I definitely get your trepidation when you're talking about Billie Eilish, because the sexualization of our children is something we don't talk about in this country. We did a story about, remember the OnlyFans when the bad Barbie Catch Me Outside from Dr. Phil, when she turned 18 and she made $1 million on OnlyFans? What's that about?
Right.
You know, but we just gloss past that. There's a hypersexualization of our children, and then we act like we don't know what they're talking about, and then some weird group starts focusing on pedophilia for some reason, but never the pedophilia that's really going on. So here we go.
Right.
Yeah.
So until we're ready to have that conversation, we should probably do the next story, because our country just isn't ready, and I don't know when that's ever going to happen.
Wow. There's so many layers to what you just unpacked.
But we're sitting in a marinade of just disinformation.
I would only hope that eventually, maybe in 2022, we do more shows that maybe special one-off.
And we just go deep,
town halls, whether it's, you know, unpacking police brutality or unpacking hypersexualization of children, because none of us are experts. I mean, Erica has worked very closely with children of trauma, but we would have to, and I'm sure you could point us in the right direction, have like a psychologist, a child psychologist,
but what about an adult psychologist? The children aren't the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's the creepy dads
that's why
on the internet. You know, it's like the kids are fine. I remember like growing up, like seeing you would go to a bar and you'd see a countdown clock to when the Olsen twins were turning 18.
Or Britney Spears.
And Howard Stern was a big part of that.
Let's talk about Brooke Shields at Blue Lagoon. I'm talking about Brooke Shields. She was like 14 in
She
that.
was,
Disgusting.
Didn't we just do a story about the Barbara Walters interview with her on Friday?
Yeah, I know. With her Calvin Klein, I believe it was a campaign.
Yes.
All right, so Lisa Rinna's daughter, Delilah, has an unusual Christmas wish. Last month, the 23-year-old model revealed on TikTok she developed a dependency on Xanax for her panic attacks after a doctor overprescribed the medication, and now she wants her parents' help. She posted a video on TikTok with the caption, "Unrealistic things I want for Christmas." Having her parents pay for her trauma therapy is the main one, and it got a lot of response. What do you think?
I have to be really honest here. I was a kid that went through clinical depression in Michigan, not to take this to Bummertown, and I never asked for help.
No, you're talking into real town.
And
so go
I
ahead.
finally broke down and said, oh, I need help. If a child is asking for help, pay it. You have enough money. This is not okay. Unreasonable to get paid for trauma therapy. Anytime a kid is asking for help, help. It doesn't matter what it is, something's underneath that. this feels so, I get that you're trying to make her her own person. Good for you. Not in this case. Pay for it.
I hate that we have to pay for it. I appreciate everything you're saying, but a lot of people
in our
aren't
society,
as affluent as Lisa Rinna and Harry
Agreed.
Hamlin.
But in reality, she is. Right. And she should do it.
But yes.
Well, and to that point that a lot of people aren't as affluent as her parents are, I think we also have to have realistic expectations and realistic conversations with our peers and people who are professionals, because the truth is a lot of our parents are just unhealed adults. And so when we are
generational
trauma,
everybody just said yes in this
video.
I
don't mean just like that's, the totality of who they are, but I think a lot of times there's a lot of anger about missteps that our parents or, our caregivers have done. And that's absolutely contributed to some of our trauma. But we aren't looking at their trauma and saving grace for that. So when we look at our parents and say, well, you did this, you broke me, now fix me. It's like, well, they're still broken, and they're coming from a generation that didn't believe in therapy and didn't believe in all of these things that were supposed to heal what's happening, above the shoulders.
But now that we know better, don't you think she should pay for it?
But sometimes when you have trauma, and not to bring it to Mama June and
Honey Boo Boo,
their names are escaping me, their real names, but Mama June did not protect her family when the boyfriends, the molestation charges and all that were occurring, because we had found out, she was actually on the Dr. Drew show with us, we had found out that she also endured that. So for her, it was a trigger, and she pushed it away, and a lot of people on the surface see it and they go, what a horrible mother, let's throw her away, let's lock her up, when in reality, she herself is a victim as well. So that's to your point.
They both need therapy.
Yeah.
And also, we know Mama June, and we know Catch Me Outside, because they were on daytime television to be exploited by that audience. They weren't there to be helped. They brought that 15-year-old girl on to make fun of her and call her a slut. I think I can say that, in a drug addict. And and they did the same. Look how fat they are. Look at the sugar they put in their food. They were not on television to be fixed. So everybody's hands are dirty in this. If you watched those exploitative programs that were on every day at 4 o'clock. So let's keep it 100.
Well said. Coming up on DBL, her mother left when she was just 16. We're chatting live with author Diane Danvers on if she was ever able to forgive.
Closed captioning provided by
But she is an author who wrote a book about her unique childhood. Her mom left her and her father when she was 16, and she bought the house next door and was moving in with hot college men as a 60-year-old woman. So Diane continued to see her mother at times, but was truly abandoned by her. She did forgive her, but she has since passed away. So we're going to ask her the reason for leaving, how their relationship changed, what it was like visiting her home. And the hardest part of her being gone, and if she thinks she behaved like a bad mother. Erica, you have that question. She's prepared for it, so don't feel like you have to lighten it up.
And am I saying this right? Diane Danvers Simmons.
Yes.
Okay, good.
And I'll confirm with you when I get in there.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now they really just called out Michael Dean for all those years on Dr. Phil.
Oh, sorry about that.
I was thinking it was Dr. Phil he was talking about. Am I right? Someone wrote Erica's spot on, but no one in media would ask the risque questions other than Howard Stern, which is an interesting take. That is interesting.
No, I think, when I say that, I'm sure, I come from a radio background, so I understand,
why people are listening to radio, especially programming like Howard Stern. But the moment that comes up, and then of course that's a big, it's a hot button for the interview, and without context, then it kind of lays it out there for 11-year-olds to think that it's perfectly okay to watch pornography.
You're totally right.
Now, we brought up earlier the idea of like little boys or little girls sneaking into their parents' room and finding like a Playboy or something like that. Is that appropriate at 11? No, it's not appropriate.
But it's not hardcore pornography.
It's not hardcore pornography either, and I think that's something, especially because it's used as a grooming tool to normalize sexualized behavior in children.
I didn't know that.
It's a conversation that we should be having other than like, oh, she started watching porn at 11.
Right, or is porn bad? Because that's not.
When is a parent done being a parent? For Diane Danvers Simmons, the answer is age 16. That's when her mother left and moved in with college students. Diane is sharing her story in her new book, My Mother Next Door. And today she joins us live. Diane, thank you so much for joining our show and just being so open and real with us. We appreciate you. So walk us through what happened. How did your mom leave?
Well, first of all, thank you. And listening to what you've been talking about, this segment is so perfect for my book. A week after my 16th birthday, I arrived home from school, normal mother in Atlanta, when my 60-year-old Irish Catholic mother announced to me over a cup of tea that she was done and she was going to leave the next day and move to the house she'd gone and bought directly next door. Now, I clearly didn't believe her in that moment. But the next day, you know, we all had Saturday jobs. So the next day on the Saturday, I get home from school, deathly silence, no note, no number, nothing. And it hits me. She's gone and done it. So she basically moved next door to start a whole new life with, as I say, these bunch of hot college students that she'd been renting her house out to. But not only did she do that, I went, obviously, to find out, you know, have you really left, Mum? She hadn't told my father. So that night, when my dad came home from work, I had to be the bearer of her lunacy. I had to tell him.
Oh, as a mother, my heart is breaking for you to have endured that. What was did you ever find out what her exact reason was for leaving? Did she tell you why she was done?
Yeah, my mother was a brutally honest person. And in her mind, and I remember these words so well, she said to me, I've given you and your father 16 years of my life and I'm done. And, you know, she wanted her independence back. And to her, these were her endearing words. And I write about this in a very English way with English and Irish humor. Because she said to me, you know, you're big and ugly enough to take care of yourself and your dad and your dog. Because she had left Ireland at age 16. Wow. So in her mind,
just like Erica
it was
said.
okay.
Yep.
Right.
Wow. Yep. You know, and so that's this story, you know, you talk about unpacking why our parents do the things they do. That's why I wrote this story.
Wow.
Because until you delve deep, until you are willing to really try and get to the root cause of people's behavior, you'll never know.
Generational trauma. Wow, this episode is crazy connected. I wanted to just...
It is.
Right?
The synergy here is incredible.
And people are writing in. Someone said, I'd never watched the show before. Thank you for talking about real items and issues. I do have to ask you, paint the picture of what it was like when you went over to your mom's new house. Like, was she partying? Was she a different person? And how did your relationship change?
It definitely changed. It was surreal. It was, you know, it was like I was kind of hovering, observing this new world that my AKA mother, this new woman, was living in. You know, the tension had eased. And even though she was still very opinionated, strong-minded, I didn't have to deal with this conflict 24/7 between her and my father, all the siblings, the blended family, and everything else. And I I saw this transformation in her. It's like she lit up. And I kind of describe her as this, you know, Irish vaudeville kind of act where I was enjoying the frivolity of this new woman.
Wow.
She wasn't just my mother anymore.
She was just new.
But, yeah, she was new. But let's be honest, I also had the added attraction of these college students to go and see. So that kind of added a little bit of levity to the whole situation. But it was, I mean, I think about it now. I have daughters, sons. It was bizarre. It was like she'd abandoned me, albeit next door. So I kind of had this, you know, feeling of it was convenient, a blessing and a curse, because it was convenient. Remember, she was Irish, so a blessing or a curse was always part of her language. But I had no choice to roll with it. I'd grown up with this character, this different kind of magical woman on one hand, but, you know, volatile on another. And this new life seemed to fit her because it was very much, if you think about this, the convenience of having her next door.
Sure.
But the inconvenience and pain of witnessing this, having it slapped in my face every single day, that she was now taking care of a bunch of young guys.
So, Diane, do you consider her, when you characterize it, do you characterize it as her being a bad mother?
You know, it's interesting. A lot of people have asked me this question. And no.
Wow.
She wasn't a bad mother for leaving. She was a bad mother for the way she did it.
Wow. Well,
because she left me to carry her burden and be her vocal piece, so to speak. You know, I was the go-between between this big, crazy blended family.
Well, that was a lot of weight.
I had to tell my father.
That was just so much weight to put on you. So I had to ask you before we wrap, do you forgive your mother? Because I could understand either way.
Yes, I do, because I never actually remember blaming her. Her story, her personality are both complex, and I go back into her background so you can understand. And I came to understand why she did the things she did. But, you know, I don't write this as a story of sadness. I write it as it celebrates the human spirit. The fact that we need to open up more. We need to take the time to understand who our mothers were, who they are now, and maybe what their dreams are in the future.
So
and
many
how
layers.
That impacts us.
So many
Layer
layers.
upon layer.
Yep, we got to read your book. In fact, DBL Nation, to learn more about Diane and her mother's story, please visit the website, Mothers and Daughters, unfiltered.com. You can also purchase her book, My Mother Next Door. It's anywhere books are sold. You are a remarkable woman. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diane.
I really appreciate it.
Is your
Some school districts are starting to mandate students get the COVID-19 vaccine. One group opposed to the vaccine mandate in San Diego schools posted this picture on Instagram that has almost 2,000 likes, claiming a district is using syringe icons next to students' names to track vaccination status. The group claims the system violates their rights under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, better known as HIPAA. So let's verify. Are school districts subject to HIPAA rules? Our sources are the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. HIPAA is a federal law that protects a patient's sensitive health information from being shared without their knowledge. The CDC and HHS saying it only applies to 3 covered entities: healthcare providers, health plans, and clearinghouses, like billing companies. School districts are not on the list. In fact, HHS explicitly says, quote, the privacy rule will not provide protections to the immunization records maintained by a school because the school is not a HIPAA-covered entity. So it's false that school districts are subject to HIPAA rules, although some states and local governments may have their own privacy rules that limit the sharing of student immunization records. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
If you're hoping to avoid the holiday weight gain this season, listen up, Tori, don't say that. We're chatting about it on DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. Exercise snacking is a perfect way to ensure you fit enough exercise into your busy holiday schedule. They recommend doing short bursts, like little exercise, like snacking bursts of 2 to 3 times a day. You could do 5 minutes of squats while cooking, that's easy, or jumping jacks in between wrapping presents, and then it all adds up. And QB is another great way to get in some quick exercise. So try their under desk elliptical at home, call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
With Omicron being named a variant of concern, health officials are encouraging people to get vaccinated and boosted against COVID-19. As cold and flu season ramps up, recent online searches show some people are wondering if they can still get their vaccine shots if they're experiencing cold symptoms. So let's verify. Is it safe to get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have a cold? Our sources are the CDC, the White House, Dr. Katrina Miller-Parrish, a family physician at LA Care Health Plan, and Dr. William Schaffner at the Vanderbilt University School of Medicine.
If you have mild symptoms of a cold and are just feeling a little bit out of sorts, it's perfectly fine to go ahead and get your influenza vaccination or your COVID vaccination, whether it's your first dose or your third, it doesn't matter. Go ahead, get that vaccine.
However, if your symptoms are severe, like a fever over 100 degrees, Dr. Parrish tells Verify it's best to wait it out a bit.
There are 2 main times when you should not go get the vaccine. If you are so sick that you can barely get out the door, probably not a good time to be going out in public and probably not a good time to get the vaccine.
She says the other main time is if you have COVID-19 or have been exposed to it. Then she recommends staying home to minimize contact with others. So it's true. You can still get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have cold symptoms, as long as they're mild. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
I was looking over some chickens, and I see these big poof bags. This means these bags were left without refrigeration.
This TikTok video with nearly 2 million likes claims frozen chicken in puffed up bags is spoiled. The viral post has spread to Twitter, where users claim that puffed up bags can be attributed to the meat deteriorating and releasing gas. So let's verify. Does frozen chicken in puffed up packaging mean the meat is spoiled? Our sources are Purdue Foods, the National Chicken Council, and the United States Department of Agriculture. The woman in the viral video is standing next to a bag of Purdue chicken. The company sells its chicken in a variety of packaging, including frozen in bags. Packaging methods for meat and poultry must be approved by the United States Department of Agriculture. According to Purdue, the puffiness of the bag is a USDA-approved packing method that pumps ambient air into the bag before sealing it. In an email to Verify, a spokesperson for the company explained that the puffiness of the bags actually indicates the packaging is properly sealed. The National Chicken Council agreed that the frozen chicken packaging seen in the video is a USDA-approved process with no food safety concern. According to the USDA, a consumer can tell if chicken is spoiled by looking for changes in the poultry's smell, taste, or texture. It says meat or poultry may turn a dark color, smell badly, and become slimy due to spoilage bacteria. It does not say anything about the packaging as an indicator of spoilage. So we can verify, no. A puffed up bag of frozen chicken doesn't mean the poultry is spoiled. With your Verify, I'm Adiande Till.
Welcome back to DBL. So many comments. Tori.
Yeah, I just want to say, Chris Manfredi wrote in a beautiful statement. Sometimes parents just don't know how to be parents, even though they want to be a good parent. That says a lot, and I thought that was well said.
And how, like, divine intervention was it to have her on the show when we were talking about everything we did?
And good producers.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye.
fights are full of spin. That's why we verify, so you get just the facts. Right now on social media, the big fight is about gerrymandering. That's when congressional maps are drawn to benefit one party. Democrats point to districts like this one in Texas, whereas Republicans, including Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, point to the congressional map of Maryland. So let's verify, is partisan gerrymandering legal? Our sources are the Brennan Center for Justice, the Supreme Court case of Rucho versus Common Cause, and this trio of political experts who say political gerrymandering has a long history in this country.
It was named after a governor. Elbridge Gerry is actually his name, but we've softened the G over time. He was able to draw a district that the reporters very quickly noticed looked a little bit like a salamander, so they called it a gerrymander.
And since then, this process has been replicated many times, and by both parties.
Both Democrats and Republicans do this. Whether you're deep blue Illinois or, a red state like Texas, all parties and in all states at some point over time have utilized partisan gerrymandering.
And in 2019, the Supreme Court weighed in, ruling that partisan gerrymandering could not be challenged in the court, and that the process was up to the states. And while some states have created neutral political commissions, 33 still leave this process to the state legislatures. So we could verify that yes, partisan gerrymandering is allowed. But there are limits. The Voting Rights Act protects against gerrymandering meant to discriminate against race, although that could be hard to prove.
Partisanship is sometimes tied to race, and if states can gerrymander based on partisanship, they're also able to gerrymander based on race.
Here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Flash mob robberies are hitting big retail stores across the country. Could social media be to blame for the violent theft? How a woman picked up the pieces when her mother left her at just 16. We're talking to her live. Should Carrie have called 911 on And Just Like That? Dr. Coley is now weighing in on the scene, sparking outrage online. And Brooke Shields is smashing aging norms. Her candid new interview about sex at 56.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No. Y'all, just stop.
Finally here, drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, December 14th. I'm Sam here with Al, Eric, and Tori. We were having quite the conversation right before.
Yeah, always.
Yes.
Always. Our viewers understood. Actually, we always keep it 100 with you guys. You guys see us unfiltered all the time. Okay, so let's get to a story that actually a lot of our viewers have a lot to say about. In fact, I'm reading your comments as we speak. As a lot of you may have heard, there have been a string of flash mob smash and grabs, some with as many as 100 people involved. And these robberies have hit stores in places like the Bay Area, Los Angeles, and outside Minneapolis. Well, now police are saying these crimes were actually organized on social media and committed by people who don't even know each other, because this makes it much harder to catch and investigate the suspects. Now, in response, check out what one very well-known center, we all know this center, it's called the Grove, it's in Los Angeles. This is what they did. They used tangled tape. So it's like a coil, a fencing, and it helps protect the stores. Tori, you're shaking your head. What are you thinking?
I don't know if this is going too far, and I want your opinion. Obviously, inflation is an issue, and maybe this is why we're seeing this rash. I get the social media because it's an easier thing to do. But can I just ask a question to you guys? Do you feel like there's a rip in like just the basic social decency of our community? Of like, now I know that stores are closing down, they have guards, they can't be there for the holiday season, all because of just like ransacking. I feel like I'm in the movie Purge sometimes, and I'm like, are we losing just the basic responsibilities we have to each other to enjoy a shopping mall without barbed wire? Like, are we there? And am I going too far? Because I feel like we're there. The things in the sky with the airplanes. I just feel like this isn't what I want to see. And I don't want to hear that like boutiques can't go, they have to go online now because they're just coming in, they're overtaking it. Have we lost just the social
I just wonder, would we say the same thing if we didn't know that you could go into a boutique and buy something in there. I think your mentality changes when you know, because like I always say, this country is so good at throwing the American dream, not in your face, but keeping it right there, Erica. Do you want this Lexus? Look at the TV. Do you have a flat screen this big, Erica? How many years of you growing up for you seeing all this stuff that you can't buy, all the stuff your dad never had, all the shoes your mom never owned, before you go, oh, there's just a plate of glass between me and that diamond necklace that I could never have? Well, then I don't care about your rules, because your rules have it set up where I can never get those things. So I'm going to go the other way. And I think that's what people are doing. I'm not defending it. I'm just talking about the mindset. They don't care about your rules. Because where were the rules when what's her name wanted to get into college? There were no rules there. Olivia.
But why is it not happening in Europe? Why is this?
Because maybe they take care of their people. And again, I'm not jumping on that train either. I do not want to condone.
Defending criminal behavior. I'm talking about the mindset.
Right, but we're trying to understand it, right? Why are people motivated to do this now as opposed to Tori's point, 10, 20, 30 years ago?
Right.
And maybe it's just being more sensationalized. I don't think that's the case. Usually I'd say maybe we're seeing more of this, Erica, because people have cell phones and cameras. I actually think people don't have respect because they don't feel respected. Again, not defending it. What do you think, Erica?
Yeah, I think we're having a much different conversation if people were doing this at the grocery store. But we're talking about luxury items that, are not accessible to most people. I find it interesting because in the past couple of weeks, I've been out to the malls, I've been out to different stores. I have seen such brazen theft. Just
really?
Right? Yes. My husband and I were at the mall last week, and I took a step back because I saw this girl, and I saw her, like I was watching every move she made because I thought it was so fascinating. And she looked like she was completely inconspicuous, but she was just walking around. She would take something, put it, like then all of a sudden she would pop out, it would be gone. She'd take something else, and then she waited. She stopped before she went through the detectors. And because she stopped, I stopped, because really she was waiting for all of us to walk through the detectors together. And I was like,
Wow. So is that entitlement then? Because again, I don't want to defend it. I know a lot of boutiques and small business owners, and I'm not defending it, but I know that they are trying to support their family too. I'm not talking about like the big box stores. Not to say that the big box stores that should happen.
Yeah, no one deserves it.
No one deserves it. But maybe it's entitlement. I don't know.
Or just a lack of like what we see in the airplanes now. And we're like, why is this happening? I just wonder if this is an all-around environment for America of a loss of decency.
Right.
Well,
No,
of course
I think
it's a loss of decency.
But I mean, morally, are we lowering our standards to a very dangerous level? We have barbed wire at the Grove. That's crazy.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
To the point.
Well, we got one more crazy story for you. Yesterday, we talked about Elon Musk's plan to build a futuristic self-contained city on Mars and his idea to bring the animals and creatures of Earth there, sort of like a futuristic Noah's Ark. He said the goal was to make life multiplanetary, but experts are skeptical. In fact, most of the experts that I read say, no, this is not going to happen, at least not for a long time. They say that it's a huge challenge to raise livestock on a planet without oxygen, pointing out that while humans are smart enough to wear oxygen breathing systems, animals might not be so keen on wearing oxygen masks, and they could just easily fall off. So they go on to say it could end up with a lot of dead animals. You think it also takes 7 months to get up there. It's minus 80 degrees on Mars.
Yeah, we're currently in the middle of one man's fever dream to be God. But he has a straight up obvious God complex that has manifested itself to the point where he is talking about taking Noah's Ark with animals up to a planet that nobody wants to go to.
That's so true.
No disrespect, there are states that people don't want to go to, much less Mars. So like stop, and like I think we tend to romanticize people like Elon Musk, the people with these crazy ideas, but I'm really kind of into the doers now, Erica, the engineers that help us get to realistic goals. So I'm out on this.
You need visionaries.
I don't even know what we're talking about. I really don't. I don't understand. Like, first of all, who's taking a 7-month trip anywhere? I mean, if my flight is delayed, I have an attitude. I mean, this is so ridiculous. And the idea that we're going to go to another planet and take non-consenting beings with us is ludicrous. It's like, essentially, we're just like, oh, okay, well, we didn't mess up. Let's just throw the whole Earth away.
Yeah,
like, what is
wrong
that?
with saving our own planet first?
I was just going to say, am I crazy to think maybe fix this? Like, is that crazy?
But that doesn't get headlines. So you got to go Mars, Noah's Ark, and then we're talking about it.
Well, yeah, but the stocks are going to, at this point, remember when he smoked something on air?
You
and
can
his
say
stock,
marijuana on television.
Well, sorry. And stocks went down when people don't like crazy. And the stocks will show that. Maybe he wants to, but watch Tesla and watch other things like SpaceX go, we'll see. People don't like crazy.
It was down today.
They like you, Tori.
Yeah.
Coming up on DBL, have you ever faked an illness to get out of house chores? What about a party? We're going to debate if faking sick is even ethical. But first, Dr. Coley is answering your medical questions, including the question on everyone's mind: why didn't Carrie dial 911 in the Sex and the City reboot? Stay with us.
Closed captioning provided by.
We've all got.
Oh my God!
Is that why they put?
Yes, it's
We're
talking about
there?
just
Yeah. The studios have tax free.
Right.
But they also have the set be there.
And
Yes.
there's Anthony.
Oh yeah, no.
Hey.
Good to see you. Good morning.
Anthony
I was gonna give
is
you a chance to
our
go over.
casually. He's one of those people that's casually, dopely dressed. We're like, it's not flashy. It's like
secret Santa.
How do I say that again? Omicron.
he can hear you.
Will you put O-N-A for me? Because I will say it wrong.
Secret Santa.
Yep.
Are you my Secret Santa? Secret Santa.
Thank you.
Yep. Anthony Harscott.
I hope he's going right to HR.
No.
You can lie.
Well, he didn't even respond.
I don't have to respond.
Wow.
But I thought it.
a rule where you have to,
That's true.
But then
how do you know?
But then you're only allowed to ask. You should only.
Three yeses.
But there's how many people in here? You can.
I like that you're
narrow
making it
down.
into a game. Yeah. I like that better, actually.
Is it bad that I didn't do Secret Santa this year?
Rude.
I didn't
yes.
do it.
Yes.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what, Erica? You've been through a lot.
I don't have time.
I like how there was two different responses for me. Rude. Oh, you know what? You're fine.
But Erica has been through a lot. So
I couldn't.
One
I
more
just
thing
couldn't
on your
get it
plate.
together this year.
I didn't know you had a choice.
Yeah, you can. Alex said it's up to you to sign up.
Well, usually something
Yeah,
just
to
shows up
opt
on your
in.
desk.
I
and you're
would
like, oh,
have,
God.
but I missed the deadline. It's just been.
Yeah.
I'm throwing this whole year away. How about that? This is my countdown to a better year.
I would tell you.
Maybe I'll bring
You know
some
me. I
food in.
can't lie. I can't lie for the life of me.
Sam has like a real thing where she's like that movie Liar Liar. She literally cannot lie.
Wait, do you know why? It's
you
more
cannot.
selfish because I do believe in karma.
Oh.
So it's more self-serving.
Well, I think when you don't lie, it makes it. Judge Judy, she always says, if you're telling the truth, you don't have to think.
She's a human
You
lie
don't have to-
detector.
yeah,
What if
she-
it's a lie to protect someone? Welcome back to DBL. So today marks the 1-year anniversary of the first COVID vaccine shot being given. But now experts are warning us of a potential explosion of the Omicron variant. We have Dr. Coley here to weigh in on that and much more. Thank you for joining us. You look beautiful, by the way, today.
Oh, thank you.
So with the potential...
I think I look good.
You always look good.
Thank you. You didn't say it.
You always got to make it about you, Albert.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry, Dr. Coley. So
well, we have our holiday colors here.
That's
don't
right, we do.
You do look very festive.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Dr. Coley. With the potential of a lot of COVID cases, like a lot of people are calling it a quote-unquote explosion, what do you consider to be fully vaccinated?
My opinion, guys, is that you have to have your 2 messenger RNA doses and the booster, because those first 2 doses are just not enough. Now, if you got the Johnson & Johnson, then you need that plus a booster as well. But the CDC is really hedging on this, and I'm not sure I understand why, because I think as the virus is evolving, our definition of fully vaccinated has to evolve.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, and I do like that we have a doctor here kind of also questioning science and showing people that we don't know all the answers. This is an evolving process. So speaking of evolving process, I never clicked on the articles that would come up that would say there's a COVID pill coming, because I really thought it was clickbait. I didn't think it was real, but it's on our prompter now, so it's pretty real. What should people know about it? Like, is this like going to help people going forward?
It's going to help so much. It is such an important tool. Prevention is the vaccines, right? But if you do all your best to prevent, you get boosted and you still get infected. Before, we had nothing. We would just wait for the illness to play itself out. Now we have a pill that, taken within 3 days of symptom onset, has an 89% less likelihood of ending you up in the hospital or dying. So this is huge. But you have to get diagnosed early, right? So when you feel those symptoms, rely on that testing to make sure you get diagnosed early, get started on this medication.
Can you believe it's been a year since the first COVID shot?
I was thinking that might be in like history books.
It should be. It's so life-saving, you know?
I mean, science has been so incredible over the last year. And I look back on last year and now, and people get upset because they say we're still wearing masks and we're still socially distancing. But guys, holidays last year, remember? We had nothing.
That was my point. And everybody's doom and gloom. I'm like, I hugged my mama. Like twice this year. Like I don't know what, thank you, scientists. Are you guys kidding me?
Well,
I saw
look at
my
the lives
auntie.
that are being saved. I mean, our Eric, who passed away a few weeks ago, wasn't lucky enough to get the vaccine. So it's been a year, and all this is happening in my mind in real time. Wow, it's been a year. Eric was a healthcare worker. He got sick January 15th. He was intubated, which means he was just a few days away probably from receiving that life-saving vaccine. So I just want people to really appreciate that here in this country, we have the privilege of receiving a vaccine because it is life-saving. And I know a lot of people aren't so lucky, including my brother-in-law.
I appreciate you saying that, Sam, because I always think about that when it comes to my aunt, too. Like, she was so close.
She was so close.
That's, you know, we have these conversations, and it's like, it's not about politics. It's about who's not here. And that's a real conversation. So I want to bring some levity.
Yes, please.
And thank you for getting us up to speed on COVID. So important. Sorry, I have to make this transition. So as Sex and the City fans, there's a really big debate happening about if Carrie would have just called 911 the moment that she realized that Big was experiencing cardiac arrest, that she could have saved his life. Now, one cardiologist is saying that she could have called 911 and it wouldn't have helped. So what's your medical opinion about this?
So I'm a Sex and the City fan too. And I was sad that Mr. Big is gone. But in a way, because he's a fictional character, I'm really happy that they did this because it highlights a lot of really important teaching points about heart disease. So the first one, guys, heart disease is the #1 killer. Even last year with all the COVID that we had.
Men and women?
Men and women. Yes, year after year after year. And the way that Mr. Big died is the way that a lot of people die from heart disease, is with a cardiac arrest. So remember that, because he's he was almost part of our families, right? Because we've known him for so long, and we lost him to heart disease. Number 2, Erica, to your point, yes, time is heart muscle. And out-of-hospital cardiac arrests have a very poor prognosis in general. But if you can get that heart started again with a defibrillator, if you can do CPR, you can save somebody's life. In fact, that's the great thing about the heart. It's so resilient. It really does bounce back. And the third thing I think to take away from this is that exercise does not cause heart attacks. And I'm a little disappointed that they presented it with him on the Peloton, but I do think you should keep in mind that exercise actually in the long term protects your heart. Now, before you start exercise, of course, talk to your doctor, make sure it's safe for you. But I think that this episode illustrated so many important things about heart disease.
It's good to know. Coming from a cardiologist. Thank you, doctor. If you guys have a question you want answered by Dr. Coley, please write us on social media, and you can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. We'll be right back.
Some school districts are starting to mandate students get the COVID-19 vaccine. One group opposed to the vaccine mandate in San Diego schools posted this picture on Instagram that has almost 2,000 likes, claiming a district is using syringe icons next to students' names to track vaccination status. The group claims the system violates their rights under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, better known as HIPAA. So let's verify. Are school districts subject to HIPAA rules? Our sources are the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. HIPAA is a federal law that protects a patient's sensitive health information from being shared without their knowledge. The CDC and HHS saying it only applies to 3 covered entities: healthcare providers, health plans, and clearinghouses, like billing companies. School districts are not on the list. In fact, HHS explicitly says, quote, "The privacy rule will not provide protections to the immunization records maintained by a school because the school is not a HIPAA-covered entity." So it's false that school districts are subject to HIPAA rules, although some states and local governments may have their own privacy rules that limit the sharing of student immunization records. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Do you use getting sick as an excuse to get out of things? A new survey showed that a large percentage of young adults use being sick or even just the sniffles to get out of adulting. Large majorities say that they use an illness to get out of laundry, going grocery shopping, and cleaning up their room, leaving it to roommates, partners, or parents to pick up the slack. Let's put age aside. Have any of you ever done this either currently or in the past? Starting with Tori.
I used to do this a ton, a lot, and I think it was coming, no joke, from a mom who was sick, and I would get attention, and I remember one person, I wore my hospital bracelet like the next day, you know, to be like, look, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, and he goes, that's not a good thing. And then from then on, I realized I got to actively work at not doing this, because it's easy to fall into, it's easy to get away from things, and it's easy to get attention. So be careful out there.
Yeah,
I took it to a bummer.
No, it's good, and it's nice for you to like be honest with yourself and other people about it. When I was younger, of course I did this to get out of school, but as I've gotten older, you know, your health is your wealth, and I don't feel like being a self-fulfilling prophecy is something that I want to put on myself.
Totally.
So just know that if I call in sick and then I'm sick.
Right.
Like there's something going on and I can't be here.
Yep. Albert.
Well, let's take it domestically for a second, and I think I can only speak for dudes in this situation.
You mean like, oh, honey, I have a headache, not tonight.
The whole like, I don't want to do the laundry. No, I think that was, I think that was about 7 hours early. But no, you know, I think a lot of times it's been like kind of, we see it in TV and movies. Men are like, oh, I don't want to do the laundry. I don't want to do the dishes. And it's this mentality that that's okay for men to say, but it's like, you live here too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Your partner lives here too, or your 4 roommates, and you are going to create an energy in that house. When you stop doing the dishes and you leave nasty stuff around, there's an energy. So like, if it's worth it to you to not do the laundry, to like have weirdness in the living room, then have at it, but it's easier to just do the dishes and then you're not arguing.
You actually feel better about yourself, at least for me personally. Of course, when I was younger, like you two, I did it all the time. I would take the thermometer, put it on like lamp and light bulb, stick it under my armpit, do what I had to do to not go to school that day. But to Erica's point, I really do believe that we're self-fulfilling prophecy, so I'm very careful. Like even when I'm sick, I won't say I'm sick. I'll say that I'm healing.
Which is good.
Interesting.
I'm healing right now.
That's cool.
Because stop it, Al.
Words manifest.
Yeah, but I have been guilty of like the headache excuse once in a while.
Hey, that's honest.
Just once in a while. Once in a while, and then I make it up later. Hey-o.
All right.
Hey-o. Are we supposed to be honest on the show?
Yeah, let's keep going until we're not on the air tomorrow. No, I
will say this, though.
I like that.
It is a little bit, and again, I hate to take it to bummer time, but I'm just going to say, for people who are actually really sick, it also is sort of a slap in the face to that. My mom was always like, really? Like, she was really sick, and I'm like, Mom, get together. So I just wanted to offer that as well.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tori. We're sharing your comments next. Don't go away.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Omicron being named a variant of concern. Health officials are encouraging people to get vaccinated and boosted against COVID-19. As cold and flu season ramps up, recent online searches show some people are wondering if they can still get their vaccine shots if they're experiencing cold symptoms. So let's verify. Is it safe to get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have a cold? Our sources are the CDC, the White House, Dr. Katrina Miller-Parrish, a family physician at LA Care Health Plan, and Dr. William Schaffner at the Vanderbilt University School of Medicine.
If you have mild symptoms of a cold and are just feeling a little bit out of sorts, it's perfectly fine to go ahead and get your influenza vaccination or your COVID vaccination, whether it's your first dose or your third. It doesn't matter. Go ahead, get that vaccine.
However, if your symptoms are severe, like a fever over 100 degrees, Dr. Parrish tells Verify it's best to wait it out a bit.
There are two main times when you should not go get the vaccine. If you are so sick that you can barely get out the door, probably not a good time to be going out in public and probably not a good time to get the vaccine.
She says the other main time is if you have COVID-19 or have been exposed to it. Then she recommends staying home to minimize contact with others. So it's true. You can still get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have cold symptoms, as long as they're mild. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
I was looking over some chickens, and I see these big poof bags. This means these bags were left without refrigeration.
This TikTok video with nearly 2 million likes claims frozen chicken in puffed up bags is spoiled. The viral post has spread to Twitter, where users claim that puffed up bags can be attributed to the meat deteriorating and releasing gas. So let's verify. Does frozen chicken in puffed up packaging mean the meat is spoiled? Our sources are Purdue Foods, the National Chicken Council, and the United States Department of Agriculture. The woman in the viral video is standing next to a bag of Purdue chicken. The company sells its chicken in a variety of packaging, including frozen in bags. Packaging methods for meat and poultry must be approved by the United States Department of Agriculture. According to Purdue, the puffiness of the bag is a USDA-approved packing method that pumps ambient air into the bag before sealing it. In an email to Verify, a spokesperson for the company explained that the puffiness of the bags actually indicates the packaging is properly sealed. The National Chicken Council agreed that the frozen chicken packaging seen in the video is a USDA-approved process with no food safety concern. According to the USDA, a consumer can tell if chicken is spoiled by looking for changes in the poultry's smell, taste, or texture. It says meat or poultry may turn a dark color, smell badly, and become slimy due to spoilage bacteria. It does not say anything about the packaging as an indicator of spoilage. So we can verify, no. A puffed up bag of frozen chicken doesn't mean the poultry is spoiled. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Listen, this past couple of years has been so crazy. Let's express gratitude for this year and all of the amazing gifts that are coming in 2022.
This year, let's try and put aside all of our differences and just be together and really be present in the moment.
From the Showman's, happy holidays!
From me and my family, we truly want to thank you over the years how much support you've given me and our whole team.
I know the holiday season can be difficult for some, and I just want to let you all know that you're not alone, and I'm wishing you a holiday season full of love and light.
From all of us here at Daily Blast Live,
we want to wish you
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And a healthy new year.
and my baby said happy holidays.
I'm like teary-eyed.
Yes.
Our family.
Absolutely we are. It's a weird thing where we started the show and we were kind of, I remember when we got the news that it was the show and like I got texts like congrats and I was like, who is this?
Yeah, it was like
because it was just like a 312 number and now literally when I have something to talk about in terms of like with my daughter, like life and death, I call Erica. When I have something to talk about spiritually, I call Sam. When I just want to laugh a little bit, I'll call Tori or Jeff. And I really appreciate you guys as my family. So just looking at that, it makes perfect sense.
We're lucky. We
Very
really
lucky.
are. And our viewers, it's so interesting. I know people like hear other like
hosts or talk show hosts say our viewers are family. Our viewers are legit family.
Yeah.
Like, we love you guys, and we wish you the best Christmas, holiday, and a healthy new year.
Absolutely.
If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. You can watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. Lisa Rinna's daughter wants her mom to foot the bill for her trauma therapy. We want to hear from you. Is she in the right? And Brooke Shields bears all in her new interview why she claims her sex life continues to evolve at 56.
Political fights are full of spin. That's why we verify, so you get just the facts. Right now on social media, the big fight is about gerrymandering. That's when congressional maps are drawn to benefit one party. Democrats point to districts like this one in Texas, whereas Republicans, including Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, point to the congressional map of Maryland. So let's verify, is partisan gerrymandering legal? Our sources are the Brennan Center for Justice, the Supreme Court case of Rucho versus Common Cause, and this trio of political experts who say political gerrymandering has a long history in this country.
It was named after a governor. Elbridge Gerry is actually his name, but we've softened the G over time. He was able to draw a district that the reporters very quickly noticed looked a little bit like a salamander, so they called it a gerrymander.
And since then, this process has been replicated many times, and by both parties.
Both Democrats and Republicans do this. Whether you're deep blue Illinois or, a red state like Texas, all parties and in all states at some point over time have utilized partisan gerrymandering.
And in 2019, the Supreme Court weighed in, ruling that partisan gerrymandering could not be challenged in the court, and that the process was up to the states. And while some states have created neutral political commissions, 33 still leave this process to the state legislatures. So we could verify that yes, partisan gerrymandering is allowed. But there are limits. The Voting Rights Act protects against gerrymandering meant to discriminate against race, although that could be hard to prove.
Partisanship is sometimes tied to race, and if states can gerrymander based on partisanship, they're also able to gerrymander based on race.
Here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. All right, Tori just found her bag.
Thank you.
To get into the building, and it was a whole ordeal. Okay.
We're good.
All right, let's get to Brooke Shields. She's bearing all about her sex life. So Brooke, who is 56, recently revealed to Yahoo Life, she looks fantastic, by the way, that she looks at sex differently now than she did in her 20s. Watch.
Sex for me has really evolved. My 20s, I was always terrified of it because I was a virgin until I was 22. I thought I was committing an offense to, humanity for being a Catholic, not married, and I had so much guilt. And it wasn't until my 40s that I started thinking of sex as my experience, not someone else's experience that I just navigated.
Brooke also said she wants her teen daughters to feel more in control of their own sexual experience. That's interesting. What do you think about Brooke's sex evolution and then what she wants for her teens?
I look at Brooke Shields as someone who was exploited at a very young age. I mean, she was directed to act out sexually, and then she was shamed for it for quite some time. So there's really no wonder in why she would have reservations about how she viewed sex or how sex played a part in her life. But at the end of the day, she's clearly had this evolution and been able to shepherd her daughters to take ownership, because when you don't take ownership, you're not admitting exactly what you're doing. When you are sexually active, it also heightens the risk of not protecting yourself, because you can't be ready to protect yourself from something that you're not ready to admit that you're doing.
That's very true. I also want to say women over 50 have still got it. I mean, come on, let's just say they're the new, people are like, oh, over 50. sex is great for them, I've heard, okay, just honestly. But second, I'd like to say
Where did you hear that?
From people.
Okay.
I do want to say, secondly, I like the language you use, speaking about words manifesting. I want to own my sexual experience. And earlier, we were talking about, like, losing my virginity, taking my virginity.
Right.
Owning that is a word I had not thought of. And just like you guys always tell me, words manifest. It is a different thing when you have agency over it. I have choices over it. I have preferences, but it's not like somebody took it away from me. So I think that was helpful to me.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
I agree. And you're right. It's not something that you guard, your virginity. And also, I think it's inherent upon this generation, our generation, it's raising children, to not repeat things that we were taught that were not correct. Even if the people that we were taught by, we still love and respect, we'd be like, I don't know about that, uncle. I don't know about that, granny. You know, we kind of filter that stuff. We take the stuff we liked and we put that into our kids, and the stuff that we didn't, we kind of remove that. And I think that's what she's doing with her daughters here. So good on her.
I'm nervous about navigating that with my Sophie and Miles. It's so funny how we always think about the daughter when we should think about the boys too, right? Or the young men, whatever. But I get nervous because I want to teach Sophie at some point, and I'll have to consult with some sort of psychologist because I don't know when is age appropriate, because I don't want them to think it's okay to be sexually active, but I also don't want them to be fearful and then not protect themselves. So I know you taught sex ed.
Right.
I don't know when that talk is supposed to happen, or if you just date.
Well, it's different for everybody. And like teaching sex ed, I did realize that, like, when I used to put the old video on, The Miracle of Life, and some students would be like, oh my gosh, turning away, and other students would be sitting there like, all right. You know, because they're at different stages of development, because we are all different. So just understand that all you can do for Sophie, all you can do for Miles, is just like give them the tools that when they are ready, they will have a chance to realize they're ready, and you'll have given them the tools. But you can't figure out the day it's going to happen.
Right. All right.
Wow.
I love that I went to Al for sex and parenting advice.
Oh.
But no,
I taught 47 graders at a time about sex ed. Yes, it's a real thing.
Okay, so Billie Eilish, speaking of sex, is opening up about it. Speaking to Howard Stern, Billie said she started watching adult films when she was only 11, but now finds that pornography is a disgrace. She added that when she started having sex, she didn't say no to things because she thought that was what she was supposed to be attracted to. She also said the films often distort how women's bodies are supposed to look. I'm so glad she's bringing this up. You have a serious look on your face. What are you thinking?
I don't think Howard Stern was the appropriate place for this conversation about how an 11-year-old girl was watching pornography, as pornography is used as a tool to groom.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit well with you at all.
But it's like, unfortunately or fortunately, this is the only place where people usually open up.
Right.
You know, if she's pushing a new album, she's not going to talk about this. Howard Stern does give people a chance to open up about abuse, drug issues, and things like that. But I completely agree. Eric, I think the question is for our society is like, when do you have this conversation and with who? Because I have a 13-year-old son who's more childlike, and my daughter, who's not an adult at all, is further along than him. So how do I navigate that? As an adult and as a parent, I think we need to say we don't know. But, you know, I definitely get your trepidation when you're talking about Billie Eilish, because the sexualization of our children is something we don't talk about in this country. We did a story about, remember the OnlyFans when the bad Barbie, Catch Me Outside from Dr. Phil, when she turned 18 and she made $1 million on OnlyFans? What's that about?
Right.
You know, but we just gloss past that. There's a hypersexualization of our children, and then we act like we don't know what they're talking about, and then some weird group starts focusing on pedophilia for some reason, but never the pedophilia that's really going on. So here we go.
Right.
Yeah.
So until we're ready to have that conversation, we should probably do the next story, because our country just isn't ready, and I don't know when that's ever going to happen.
Wow. There's so many layers to what you just unpacked.
But we're sitting in a marinade of just disinformation.
I would only hope that eventually, maybe in 2022, we do more shows that maybe special one-off.
And we just go deep,
town halls, whether it's, you know, unpacking police brutality or unpacking hypersexualization of children, because none of us are experts. I mean, Erica has worked very closely with children of trauma, but we would have to, and I'm sure you could point us in the right direction, have like a psychologist, a child psychologist.
But what about an adult psychologist? The children aren't the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's the creepy dads
that's why
on the internet.
Right.
You know, it's like the kids are fine. I remember like growing up, like seeing you would go to a bar and you'd see a countdown clock to when the Olsen twins were turning 18.
Or Britney Spears.
And Howard Stern was a big part of that.
Let's talk about Brooke Shields at Blue Lagoon. I'm talking about Brooke Shields. She was like 14 in
She
that.
was, yeah.
Disgusting.
Didn't we just do a story about the Barbara Walters interview with her on Friday?
Shaming her. Yeah, I know. With her Calvin Klein, I believe it was a campaign.
Yes.
Right. All right, so Lisa Rinna's daughter, Delilah, has an unusual Christmas wish. Last month, the 23-year-old model revealed on TikTok she developed a dependency on Xanax for her panic attacks after a doctor overprescribed the medication, and now she wants her parents' help. She posted a video on TikTok with the caption, "Unrealistic things I want for Christmas." Having her parents pay for her trauma therapy is the main one, and it got a lot of response. What do you think?
I have to be really honest here. I was a kid that went through clinical depression in Michigan, not to take this to Bummertown, and I never asked for help.
No, you're talking into real town.
And
so go
I
ahead.
finally broke down and said, oh, I need help. If a child is asking for help, pay it. You have enough money. This is not okay. Unreasonable to get paid for trauma therapy? Anytime a kid is asking for help, help. It doesn't matter what it is, something's underneath that. this feels so, I get that you're trying to make her her own person. Good for you. Not in this case. Pay for it.
I hate that we have to pay for it. I appreciate everything you're saying, but a lot of people
in our
aren't
society,
as affluent as Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin.
But in reality, she is. Right. She should do it.
But yes.
Well, and to that point that a lot of people aren't as affluent as her parents are, I think we also have to have realistic expectations and realistic conversations with our peers and people who are professionals, because the truth is a lot of our parents are just unhealed adults. And so when we are
generational trauma,
everybody just said yes in this
and
video.
I don't mean just like that's, the totality of who they are, but I think a lot of times there's a lot of anger about missteps that our parents or, our caregivers have done. And that's absolutely contributed to some of our trauma. But we aren't looking at their trauma and saving grace for that. So when we look at our parents and say, well, you did this, you broke me, now fix me. It's like, well, they're still broken, and they're coming from a generation that didn't believe in therapy and didn't believe in all of these things that were supposed to heal what's happening, above the shoulders.
But now that we know better, don't you think she should pay for it?
But sometimes when you have trauma, and not to bring it to Mama June and
Honey Boo Boo,
their names are escaping me, their real names, but Mama June did not protect her family when the boyfriends, the molestation charges and all that were occurring, because we had found out, she was actually on the Dr. Drew show with us, we had found out that she also endured that. So for her, it was a trigger, and she pushed it away, and a lot of people on the surface see it and they go, what a horrible mother, let's throw her away, let's lock her up, when in reality, she herself is a victim as well. So that's to your point.
They both need therapy.
Yeah.
And also, we know Mama June and we know Catch Me Outside because they were on daytime television to be exploited by that audience. They weren't there to be helped. They brought that 15-year-old girl on to make fun of her and call her a slut. I think I can say that, and a drug addict. And and they did the same. Look how fat they are. Look at the sugar they put in their food. They were not on television to be fixed. So everybody's hands are dirty in this. If you watched those exploitative programs that were on every day at 4 o'clock. So let's keep it 100.
Well said. Coming up on DBL, her mother left when she was just 16. We're chatting live with author Diane Danvers on if she was ever able to forgive.
Closed captioning provided by
But she is an author who wrote a book about her unique childhood. Her mom left her and her father when she was 16, and she bought the house next door and was moving in with hot college men as a 60-year-old woman.
Wow.
So Diane continued to see her mother at times, but was truly abandoned by her. She did forgive her, but she has since passed away. So yeah, we're going to ask her the reason for leaving, how their relationship changed, what it was like visiting her home. And the hardest part of her being gone, and if she thinks she behaved like a bad mother. Erica, you have that question. She's prepared for it, so don't feel like you have to lighten it up.
And am I saying this right? Diane Danvers Simmons.
Yes.
Okay, good.
And I'll confirm with you when I get in there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, sorry about that.
I was thinking it was Dr. Phil he was talking about. Am I right? Someone wrote Erica's spot on, but no one in media would ask the risque questions other than Howard Stern, which is an interesting take. That is interesting.
No, I think, when I say that, I'm sure, I come from a radio background, so I understand, why people are listening to radio, especially a programming like Howard Stern. But the moment that comes up, and then, of course, that's a big... It's a hot button for the interview, and without context, then it kind of lays it out there for 11-year-olds to think that it's perfectly okay to watch pornography.
You're totally right.
Now, we brought up earlier the idea of little boys or little girls sneaking into their parents' room and finding a Playboy or something like that. Is that appropriate at 11? No, it's not appropriate.
But it's not hardcore pornography.
It's not hardcore pornography either, and I think that's something, especially because it's used as a grooming tool to normalize sexualized behavior in children.
I didn't know that.
It's a conversation that we should be having other than oh, she started watching porn at 11.
Right, or is porn bad? Because that's...
When is a parent done being a parent? For Diane Danvers Simmons, the answer is age 16. That's when her mother left and moved in with college students. Diane is sharing her story in her new book, My Mother Next Door. And today she joins us live. Diane, thank you so much for joining our show and just being so open and real with us. We appreciate you. So walk us through what happened. How did your mom leave?
Well, first of all, thank you. And listening to what you've been talking about, this segment is so perfect for my book. A week after my 16th birthday, I arrived home from school, normal mother and Atlanta, when my 60-year-old Irish Catholic mother announced to me over a cup of tea that she was done and she was going to leave the next day and move to the house she'd gone and bought directly next door. Now, I clearly didn't believe her in that moment. But the next day, we all had Saturday jobs. So the next day on the Saturday, I get home from school, deathly silence, no note, no number, nothing. And it hits me. She's gone and done it. So she basically moved next door to start a whole new life with, as I say, these bunch of hot college students that she'd been renting her house out to. But not only did she do that, I went, obviously, to find out, have you really left, Mum? She hadn't told my father. So that night, when my dad came home from work, I had to be the bearer of her lunacy. I had to tell him.
Oh, as a mother, my heart is breaking for you to have endured that. Did you ever find out what her exact reason was for leaving? Did she tell you why she was done?
Yeah, my mother was a brutally honest person. And in her mind, and I remember these words so well, she said to me, I've given you and your father 16 years of my life and I'm done. And, she wanted her independence back. And to her, these were her endearing words. And I write about this in a very English way with English and Irish humor. Because she said to me, you're big and ugly enough to take care of yourself and your dad and your dog. Because she had left Ireland at age 16. Wow. So in her mind,
just like Erica
it was
said.
okay.
Yep. Right.
Wow. Yep. And so that's this story, you talk about unpacking why our parents do the things they do. That's why I wrote this story.
Wow.
Because until you delve deep, until you are willing to really try and get to the root cause of people's behavior, you'll never know.
Generational trauma. Wow, this episode is crazy connected. I wanted to just...
It is.
Right?
The synergy here is incredible.
And people are writing in. Someone said, I'd never watched the show before. Thank you for talking about real items and issues. I do have to ask you, paint the picture of what it was like when you went over to your mom's new house. Like, was she partying? Was she a different person? And how did your relationship change?
It definitely changed. It was surreal. It was, it was like I was kind of hovering, observing this new world that my AKA mother, this new woman, was living in. The tension had eased. And even though she was still very opinionated, strong-minded, I didn't have to deal with this conflict 24/7 between her and my father, all the siblings, the blended family, and everything else. And I saw this transformation in her. It's like she lit up. And I kind of describe her as this, Irish, vaudeville kind of act where I was enjoying the frivolity of this new woman.
Wow.
She wasn't just my mother anymore.
She was just new.
But, yeah, she was new. But let's be honest, I also had the added attraction of these college students to go and see. So that kind of added a little bit of levity to the whole situation. But it was, I mean, I think about it now. I have daughters, sons. It was bizarre. It was like she'd abandoned me, albeit next door. So I kind of had this, feeling of it was convenient, a blessing and a curse, because it was convenient. And remember, she was Irish, so a blessing or a curse was always part of her language. But I had no choice to roll with it. I'd grown up with this character, this different kind of magical woman on one hand, but, volatile on another. And this new life seemed to fit her because it was very much, if you think about this, the convenience of having her next door.
Sure.
But the inconvenience and pain of witnessing this, having it slapped in my face every single day, that she was now taking care of a bunch of young guys.
So, Diane, do you consider her, when you characterize it, do you characterize it as her being a bad mother?
It's interesting. A lot of people have asked me this question. And no.
Wow.
She wasn't a bad mother for leaving. She was a bad mother for the way she did it.
Wow.
Well,
because she left me to carry her burden and be her vocal piece, so to speak. I was the go-between between this big, crazy blended family.
Well, that was a lot of weight.
I had to tell my father.
That was just so much weight to put on you. So I had to ask you before we wrap, do you forgive your mother? Because I could understand either way.
Yes, I do, because I never actually remember blaming her. Her story, her personality are both complex, and I go back into her background so you can understand. And I came to understand why she did the things she did. But, I don't write this as a story of sadness. I write it as it celebrates the human spirit. The fact that we need to open up more. We need to take the time to understand who our mothers were, who they are now, and maybe what their dreams are in the future.
Wow. So
and
many
how
layers.
That impacts us.
Wow. So many
layer
layers.
Upon layer.
Yep, we got to read your book. In fact, DBL Nation, to learn more about Diane and her mother's story, please visit the website, Mothers and Daughters, Unfiltered.com. You can also purchase her book, My Mother Next Door. It's anywhere books are sold. Wow. You are a remarkable woman. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diane.
I really appreciate it.
Is your
Some school districts are starting to mandate students get the COVID-19 vaccine. One group opposed to the vaccine mandate in San Diego schools posted this picture on Instagram that has almost 2,000 likes, claiming a district is using syringe icons next to students' names to track vaccination status. The group claims the system violates their rights under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, better known as HIPAA. So let's verify. Are school districts subject to HIPAA rules? Our sources are the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. HIPAA is a federal law that protects a patient's sensitive health information from being shared without their knowledge. The CDC and HHS saying it only applies to 3 covered entities: healthcare providers, health plans, and clearinghouses, like billing companies. School districts are not on the list. In fact, HHS explicitly says, quote, "The privacy rule will not provide protections to the immunization records maintained by a school because the school is not a HIPAA-covered entity." So it's false that school districts are subject to HIPAA rules, although some states and local governments may have their own privacy rules that limit the sharing of student immunization records. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
If you're hoping to avoid the holiday weight gain this season, listen up. Tori, don't say that. We're chatting about it on DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. Exercise snacking is a perfect way to ensure you fit enough exercise into your busy holiday schedule. They recommend doing short bursts, like little exercise, like snacking bursts of 2 to 3 times a day. You could do 5 minutes of squats while cooking, that's easy, or jumping jacks in between wrapping presents, and then it all adds up. And QB is another great way to get in some quick exercise. So try their under desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
With Omicron being named a variant of concern, health officials are encouraging people to get vaccinated and boosted against COVID-19. As cold and flu season ramps up, recent online searches show some people are wondering if they can still get their vaccine shots if they're experiencing cold symptoms. So let's verify. Is it safe to get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have a cold? Our sources are the CDC, the White House, Dr. Katrina Miller-Parrish, a family physician at LA Care Health Plan, and Dr. William Schaffner at the Vanderbilt University School of Medicine.
If you have mild symptoms of a cold and are just feeling a little bit out of sorts, it's perfectly fine to go ahead and get your influenza vaccination or your COVID vaccination. Whether it's your first dose or your third, it doesn't matter. Go ahead, get that vaccine.
However, if your symptoms are severe, like a fever over 100 degrees, Dr. Parrish tells Verify it's best to wait it out a bit.
There are 2 main times when you should not go get the vaccine. If you are so sick that you can barely get out the door, probably not a good time to be going out in public and probably not a good time to get the vaccine.
She says the other main time is if you have COVID-19 or have been exposed to it. Then she recommends staying home to minimize contact with others. So it's true. You can still get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have cold symptoms, as long as they're mild. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
I was looking over some chickens, and I see these big poof bags. This means these bags were left without refrigeration.
This TikTok video with nearly 2 million likes claims frozen chicken in puffed up bags is spoiled. The viral post has spread to Twitter, where users claim that puffed up bags can be attributed to the meat deteriorating and releasing gas. So let's verify. Does frozen chicken in puffed up packaging mean the meat is spoiled? Our sources are Purdue Foods, the National Chicken Council, and the United States Department of Agriculture. The woman in the viral video is standing next to a bag of Purdue chicken. The company sells its chicken in a variety of packaging, including frozen in bags. Packaging methods for meat and poultry must be approved by the United States Department of Agriculture. According to Purdue, the puffiness of the bag is a USDA-approved packing method that pumps ambient air into the bag before sealing it. In an email to Verify, a spokesperson for the company explained that the puffiness of the bags actually indicates the packaging is properly sealed. The National Chicken Council agreed that the frozen chicken packaging seen in the video is a USDA-approved process with no food safety concern. According to the USDA, a consumer can tell if chicken is spoiled by looking for changes in the poultry's smell, taste, or texture. It says meat or poultry may turn a dark color, smell badly, and become slimy due to spoilage bacteria. It does not say anything about the packaging as an indicator of spoilage. So we can verify, no. A puffed up bag of frozen chicken doesn't mean the poultry is spoiled. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Welcome back to DBL. So many comments. Tori.
Yeah, I just want to say, Chris Manfredi wrote in a beautiful statement. Sometimes parents just don't know how to be parents, even though they want to be a good parent. That says a lot, and I thought that was well said.
And how, like, divine intervention was it to have her on the show when we were talking about everything we did?
And good producers.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye.
Political fights are full of spin. That's why we verify, so you get just the facts. Right now on social media, the big fight is about gerrymandering. That's when congressional maps are drawn to benefit one party. Democrats point to districts like this one in Texas, whereas Republicans, including Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, point to the congressional map of Maryland. So let's verify, is partisan gerrymandering legal? Our sources are the Brennan Center for Justice, the Supreme Court case of Rucho versus Common Cause, and this trio of political experts who say political gerrymandering has a long history in this country.
It was named after a governor. Elbridge Gerry is actually his name, but we've softened the G over time. He was able to draw a district that the reporters very quickly noticed looked a little bit like a salamander, so they called it a Gerrymander.
And since then, this process has been replicated many times, and by both parties.
Both Democrats and Republicans do this.
Whether you're deep blue Illinois or, a red state like Texas, all parties and in all states at some point over time have utilized partisan gerrymandering.
And in 2019, the Supreme Court weighed in, ruling that partisan gerrymandering could not be challenged in the court, and that the process was up to the states. And while some states have created neutral political commissions, 33 still leave this process to the state legislatures. So we could verify that yes, partisan gerrymandering is allowed. But there are limits. The Voting Rights Act protects against gerrymandering meant to discriminate against race, although that could be hard to prove.
Partisanship is sometimes tied to race, and if states can gerrymander based on partisanship, they're also able to gerrymander based on race.
Here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verify.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Flash mob robberies are hitting big retail stores across the country. Could social media be to blame for the violent theft? How a woman picked up the pieces when her mother left her at just 16. We're talking to her live. Should Carrie have called 911 on And Just Like That? Dr. Coley is now weighing in on the scene, sparking outrage online. And Brooke Shields is smashing aging norms. Her candid new interview about sex at 56.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham. No.
Nope.
Yeah, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, December 14th. I'm Sam here with Al, Eric, and Tori. We were having quite the conversation right before.
Yeah, always. Yes.
Always. Our viewers understood. Actually, we always keep it 100 with you guys. You guys see us unfiltered all the time. Okay, so let's get to a story that actually a lot of our viewers have a lot to say about. In fact, I'm reading your comments as we speak. As a lot of you may have heard, there have been a string of flash mob smash and grabs, some with as many as 100 people involved. And these robberies have hit stores in places like the Bay Area, Los Angeles, and outside Minneapolis. Well, now police are saying these crimes were actually organized on social media and committed by people who don't even know each other, because this makes it much harder to catch and investigate the suspects. Now, in response,
response, check out what one very well-known center, we all know this center, it's called the Grove, it's in Los Angeles. This is what they did. They used tangled tape. So it's like a coil, a fencing, and it helps protect the stores. Tori, you're shaking your head. What are you thinking?
I don't know if this is going too far, and I want your opinion. Obviously, inflation is an issue, and maybe this is why we're seeing this rash. I get the social media because it's an easier thing to do. But can I just ask a question to you guys? Do you feel like there's a rip in like just the basic social decency of our community? Of like, now I know that stores are closing down, they have guards, they can't be there for the holiday season, all because of just like ransacking. I feel like I'm in the movie Purge sometimes, and I'm like, are we losing just the basic responsibilities we have to each other to enjoy a shopping mall without barbed wire? Like, are we there? And am I going too far? Because I feel like we're there. The things in the sky with the airplanes, I just feel like this isn't what I want to see. And I don't want to hear that like boutiques can't go, they have to go online now because they're just coming in, they're overtaking it. Have we lost just the social
I just wonder, would we say the same thing if we didn't know that you could go into a boutique and buy something in there? I think your mentality changes when you know, because like I always say, this country is so good at throwing the American dream, not in your face, but keeping it right there, Erica. Do you want this Lexus? Look at the TV. Do you have a flat screen this big, Erica? How many years of you growing up for you seeing all this stuff that you can't buy, all the stuff your dad never had, all the shoes your mom never owned, before you go, oh, there's just a plate of glass between me and that diamond necklace that I could never have? Well, then I don't care about your rules because your rules have it set up where I can never get those things. So I'm going to go the other way. And I think that's what people are doing. I'm not defending it. I'm just talking about the mindset. They don't care about your rules because where were the rules when what's her name wanted to get into college? There were no rules there. Olivia.
But why is it not happening in Europe? Why is this?
Because maybe they take care of their people. And again, I'm not jumping on that train either.
Right.
I do not want to condone.
Defending criminal behavior.
This.
I'm talking about the mindset.
Right, but we're trying to understand it, right? Why are people motivated to do this now as opposed to Tori's point, 10, 20, 30 years ago?
Right.
And maybe it's just being more sensationalized. I don't think that's the case. Usually I'd say maybe we're seeing more of this, Erica, because people have cell phones and cameras. I actually think people don't have respect because they don't feel respected. Again, not defending it. What do you think, Erica?
Yeah, I think we're having a much different conversation if people were doing this at the grocery store. But we're talking about luxury items that, are not accessible to most people. I find it interesting because in the past couple of weeks, I've been out to the malls, I've been out to different stores. I have seen such brazen theft. Just
really?
Right? Yes. My husband and I were at the mall last week, and I took a step back because I saw this girl, and I saw her, like I was watching every move she made because I thought it was so fascinating. And she looked like she was completely inconspicuous, but she was just walking around. She would take something, put it, then all of a sudden she would pop out, it would be gone. She'd take something else, and then she waited. She stopped before she went through the detectors. And because she stopped, I stopped, because really she was waiting for all of us to walk through the detectors together. And I was like,
Wow. So is that entitlement then? Because again, I don't want to defend it. I know a lot of boutiques and small business owners, and I'm not defending it, but I know that they are trying to support their family too. I'm not talking about like the big box stores. Not to say that the big box stores that should happen.
Yeah, no one deserves it.
No one deserves it. But maybe it's entitlement. I don't know.
Or just a lack of like what we see in the airplanes now. And we're like, why is this happening? I just wonder if this is an all-around environment for America of a loss of decency.
Right.
Well, of course it's a loss of decency.
But I mean, morally, are we lowering our standards to a very dangerous level? We have barbed wire at the Grove. That's crazy.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Well, we got one more crazy story for you. Yesterday, we talked about Elon Musk's plan to build a futuristic self-contained city on Mars and his idea to bring the animals and creatures of Earth there, sort of like a futuristic Noah's Ark. He said the goal was to make life multiplanetary, but experts are skeptical. In fact, most of the experts that I read say, no, this is not going to happen, at least not for a long time. They say that it's a huge challenge to raise livestock on a planet without oxygen, pointing out that while humans are smart enough to wear oxygen breathing systems, animals might not be so keen on wearing oxygen masks, and they could just easily fall off. So they go on to say it could end up with a lot of dead animals. You think it also takes 7 months to get up there. It's minus 80 degrees on Mars.
Yeah, we're currently in the middle of one man's fever dream to be God.
Yeah, he's
but he has a straight up obvious God complex that has manifested itself to the point where he is talking about taking Noah's Ark with animals up to a planet that nobody wants to go to.
That's so true.
No disrespect, there's states that people don't want to go to, much less Mars. So like stop, and like I think we tend to romanticize people like Elon Musk, the people with these crazy ideas, but I'm really kind of into the doers now, Erica, the engineers that help us get to realistic goals. So I'm out on this.
You need visionaries.
I don't even know what we're talking about. I really don't. I don't understand. Like, first of all, who's taking a 7-month trip anywhere? I mean, if my flight is delayed, I have an attitude. I mean, this is so ridiculous. And the idea that we're going to go to another planet and take non-consenting beings with us is ludicrous. It's like essentially we're just like, oh, okay, well we didn't mess up. Let's just throw the whole Earth away.
Yeah,
like what is that?
Saving our own planet first.
I was just gonna say, am I crazy to think maybe fix this? Like, is that crazy?
But that doesn't get headlines. So you got to go Mars, Noah's Ark, and then we're talking about it.
Yeah, but the stocks are gonna, at this point, remember when he smoked something on air?
You can
his
say marijuana on television.
Well, sorry. And stocks went down when people don't like crazy, and the stocks will show that. Maybe he wants to, but watch Tesla and watch other things like SpaceX go. We'll see. People don't like crazy.
It was down today.
They like you, Tori.
Yeah.
Coming up on DBL, have you ever faked an illness to get out of house chores? What about a party? We're going to debate if faking sick is even ethical. But first, Dr. Coley's answering your medical questions, including the question on everyone's mind: why didn't Carrie dial 911 in the Sex and the City reboot? Stay with us.
Closed captioning provided by
Oh my God!
Is that why they put?
Yes, it's
we're talking about
there?
just
studios have tax free.
Right.
But they also had the set be there.
And there's Anthony.
Oh yeah, no.
Hey.
Good to see you. Good morning.
Anthony is our casually. He's one of those people that's casually dopely dressed. We're like it's not flashy. It's like
How do I say that again? Omicron.
he can hear you.
Will you put OMA for me? Because I will say it wrong.
Secret Santa.
Yep.
Are you my Secret Santa? Secret Santa.
Thank you.
Yep. Anthony Harskell.
I hope he's going right to HR.
No.
You can lie.
Well, he didn't even respond.
I want to respond.
Wow.
But I thought
it's a rule where you have to,
That's true.
But then
how do you know?
But then you're only allowed to ask. You should only.
3 guesses.
But there's how many people in here? You can.
I like that you're making it into a game.
Yeah.
I like that better, actually.
Is it bad that I didn't do Secret Santa this year?
Rude.
I didn't do it.
Yes.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what, Erica? You've been through a lot.
I don't have time.
I like how there's 2 different responses for me. Rude. Oh, you know what? You're fine.
But Erica has been through a lot. So
I couldn't.
One
I
more
just
thing
couldn't
on your
get it
plate.
together.
You gotta
this
pick
year.
and choose.
You had a choice.
Yeah, you can. Alex said it's up to you to sign
well,
up.
usually something
You have
just
to
shows up
opt
on your
in.
desk.
I
and you're
would
like, oh,
have,
God.
but I missed the deadline. It's just been.
Yeah.
I'm throwing this whole year away. How about that? This is my countdown to a better year.
I would tell you.
Maybe I'll bring
You know
some
me. I
food in.
can't lie. I can't lie for the life of me.
Sam has like a real thing where she's like that movie Liar Liar. She literally cannot lie.
Wait, do you know why? It's
you
more
cannot.
selfish because I do believe in karma.
Oh.
So it's more self-serving.
Well, I think when you don't lie, it makes it. Judge Judy, she always says, if you're telling the truth, you don't have to think.
She's a human
You
lie
don't have to-
detector.
yeah,
What if
she-
she's a lie to protect someone? Welcome back to DBL. So today marks the 1-year anniversary of the first COVID vaccine shot being given, but now experts are warning us of a potential explosion of the Omicron variant. We have Dr. Coley here to weigh in on that and much more. Thank you for joining us. You look beautiful, by the way, today.
Oh, thank you.
So with the potential...
I think I look good.
You always look good.
Thank you. You didn't say it.
You always got to make it about you, Albert.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry, Dr. Coley.
So well, we have our holiday colors here.
That's
going,
right, we do.
You do look very festive.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Dr. Coley. With the potential of a lot of COVID cases, like a lot of people are calling it a quote-unquote explosion, what do you consider to be fully vaccinated?
My opinion, guys, is that you have to have your 2 messenger RNA doses and the booster, because those first 2 doses are just not enough. Now, if you got the Johnson & Johnson, then you need that plus a booster as well. But the CDC is really hedging on this, and I'm not sure I understand why, because I think as the virus is evolving, our definition of fully vaccinated has to evolve.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, and I do like that we have a doctor here kind of also questioning science and showing people that we don't know all the answers. This is an evolving process. So speaking of evolving process, I never clicked on the articles that would come up that would say there's a COVID pill coming, because I really thought it was clickbait. I didn't think it was real, but it's on our prompter now, so it's pretty real. What should people know about it? Like, is this like going to help people going forward?
It's going to help so much. It is such an important tool. Prevention is the vaccines, right?
Right.
But if you do all your best to prevent, you get boosted and you still get infected. Before, we had nothing. We would just wait for the illness to play itself out. Now we have a pill that, taken within 3 days of symptom onset, has an 89% less likelihood of ending you up in the hospital or dying. So this is huge. But you have to get diagnosed early, right?
Right.
So when you feel those symptoms, rely on that testing to make sure you get diagnosed early, get started on this medication.
Can you believe
early.
it's been a year since the first COVID shot?
I was thinking that might be in like history books.
It should be. It's so life-saving, you know?
I mean, science has been so incredible over the last year. And I look back on last year and now, and people get upset because they say we're still wearing masks and we're still socially distancing. But guys, holidays last year, remember? Yeah. We had nothing.
That was my point. And everybody's doom and gloom. I'm like, I hugged my mama.
Right.
Like twice this year. Like I don't know what, thank you, scientists. Are you guys kidding me?
Well,
I saw
look at
my
the lives
auntie.
that are being saved. I mean, our Eric, who passed away a few weeks ago, wasn't lucky enough to get the vaccine.
Right.
So it's been a year, and all this is happening in my mind in real time. Wow, it's been a year. Eric was a healthcare worker. He got sick January 15th. He was intubated, which means he was just a few days away probably from receiving that life-saving vaccine.
Yeah.
So I just want people to really appreciate that here in this country, we have the privilege of receiving a vaccine because it is life-saving. And I know a lot of people aren't so lucky, including my brother-in-law.
I appreciate you saying that, Sam, because I always think about that when it comes to my aunt, too. Like, she was so close.
She was so close.
That's, you know, we have these conversations, and it's like, it's not about politics. It's about who's not here. And that's a real conversation. So I want to bring some levity.
Yes, please.
And thank you for getting us up to speed on COVID. So important. I'm sorry, I have to make this transition. So as Sex and the City fans, there's a really big debate happening about if Carrie would have just called 911 the moment that she realized that Big was experiencing cardiac arrest, that she could have saved his life. Now, one cardiologist is saying that she could have called 911 and it wouldn't have helped. So what's your medical opinion about this?
So I'm a Sex and the City fan too. And I was sad that Mr. Big is gone. But in a way, because he's a fictional character, I'm really happy that they did this, because it highlights a lot of really important teaching points about heart disease. So the first one, guys, heart disease is the #1 killer. Even last year, with all the COVID that we had.
Men and women?
Men and women. Yes, year after year after year. And the way that Mr. Big died is the way that a lot of people die from heart disease, is with a cardiac arrest. So remember that, because he's he was almost part of our families, right? Because we've known him for so long, and we lost him to heart disease. Number 2, Erica, to your point, yes, time is heart muscle. And out-of-hospital cardiac arrests have a very poor prognosis in general. But if you can get that heart started again with a defibrillator, if you can do CPR, you can save somebody's life. In fact, that's the great thing about the heart. It's so resilient. It really does bounce back. And the third thing I think to take away from this is that exercise does not cause heart attacks. And I'm a little disappointed that they presented it with him on the Peloton. But I do think you should keep in mind that exercise actually in the long term protects your heart. Now, before you start exercise, of course, talk to your doctor, make sure it's safe for you. But I think that this episode illustrated so many important things about heart disease.
It's good to know. Yeah. Coming from a cardiologist. Thank you, doctor. If you guys have a question you want answered by Dr. Coley, please write us on social media, and you can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. We'll be right back.
This holiday.
Some school districts are starting to mandate students get the COVID-19 vaccine. One group opposed to the vaccine mandate in San Diego schools posted this picture on Instagram that has almost 2,000 likes, claiming a district is using syringe icons next to students' names to track vaccination status. The group claims the system violates their rights under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, better known as HIPAA. So let's verify. Are school districts subject to HIPAA rules? Our sources are the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. HIPAA is a federal law that protects a patient's sensitive health information from being shared without their knowledge. The CDC and HHS saying it only applies to 3 covered entities: healthcare providers, health plans, and clearinghouses, like billing companies. School districts are not on the list. In fact, HHS explicitly says, quote, the privacy rule will not provide protections to the immunization records maintained by a school because the school is not a HIPAA-covered entity. So it's false that school districts are subject to HIPAA rules, although some states and local governments may have their own privacy rules that limit the sharing of student immunization records. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Do you use getting sick as an excuse to get out of things? A new survey showed that a large percentage of young adults use being sick or even just the sniffles to get out of adulting. Large majorities say that they use an illness to get out of laundry, going grocery shopping, and cleaning up their room, leaving it to roommates, partners, or parents to pick up the slack. Let's put age aside. Have any of you ever done this either currently or in the past? Starting with Tori.
I used to do this a ton, a lot. And I think it was coming, no joke, from a mom who was sick. And I would get attention. And I remember one person, I wore my hospital bracelet like the next day, you know, to be like, look, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick. And he goes, that's not a good thing. And then from then on, I realized I got to be actively work at not doing this because it's easy to fall into, it's easy to get away from things, and it's easy to get attention. So be careful out there.
Yeah,
I took it to a bummer.
It's good, and it's nice for you to like be honest with yourself and other people about it. When I was younger, of course I did this to get out of school. But as I've gotten older, you know, your health is your wealth, and I don't feel like being a self-fulfilling prophecy is something that I want to put on myself. So just know that if I call in sick and then I'm sick. Right. Like there's something going on and I can't be here.
Yep. Albert.
Well, let's take it domestically for a second, and I think I can only speak for dudes in this situation.
You mean like, oh, honey, I have a headache, not tonight.
The whole like, I don't want to do the laundry. No, I think that was, I think that was about 7 hours early. But no, you know, I think a lot of times it's been like kind of, we see it in TV movies. Men are like, oh, I don't want to do the laundry. I don't want to do the dishes. And it's this mentality that that's okay for men to say, but it's like, you live here too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Your partner lives here too, or your 4 roommates, and you are going to create an energy in that house. When you stop doing the dishes and you leave nasty stuff around, there's an energy. So like, if it's worth it to you to not do the laundry, to like have weirdness in the living room, then have at it. But it's easier to just do the dishes and then you're not arguing.
You actually feel better about yourself, at least for me personally. Of course, when I was younger, like you two, I did it all the time. I would take the thermometer, put it on like lamp and light bulb, stick it under my armpit, do what I had to do to not go to school that day. But to Erica's point, I really do believe that we're self-fulfilling prophecy, so I'm very careful. Like even when I'm sick, I won't say I'm sick. I'll say that I'm healing.
Which is good.
Interesting.
I'm healing right now.
That's cool.
Because stop it, Al.
Words manifest.
Yeah, but I have been guilty of like the headache excuse once in a while.
Hey, that's honest.
Just once in a while. Once in a while, and then I make it up later.
Hey-o.
All right.
Hey-o. Are we supposed to be honest on the show?
Yeah, let's keep going until we're not on the air tomorrow. No, I
will say this, though.
I like that.
It is a little bit, and again, I hate to take it to bummer time, but I'm just going to say, for people who are actually really sick, it also is sort of a slap in the face to them. My mom was always like, really? Like, she was really sick, and I'm like, my arm! Get together. So I just wanted to offer that as well.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tori. We're sharing your comments next. Don't go away.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
With Omicron being named a variant of concern, health officials are encouraging people to get vaccinated and boosted against COVID-19. As cold and flu season ramps up, recent online searches show some people are wondering if they can still get their vaccine shots if they're experiencing cold symptoms. So let's verify. Is it safe to get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have a cold? Our sources are the CDC, the White House, Dr. Katrina Miller-Parrish, a family physician at LA Care Health Plan, and Dr. William Schaffner at the Vanderbilt University School of Medicine.
If you have mild symptoms of a cold and are just feeling a little bit out of sorts, it's perfectly fine to go ahead and get your influenza vaccination or your COVID vaccination. Whether it's your first dose or your third, it doesn't matter. Go ahead, get that vaccine.
However, if your symptoms are severe, like a fever over 100 degrees, Dr. Parrish tells Verify it's best to wait it out a bit.
There are two main times when you should not go get the vaccine. If you are so sick that you can barely get out the door, probably not a good time to be going out in public and probably not a good time to get the vaccine.
She says the other main time is if you have COVID-19 or have been exposed to it. Then she recommends staying home to minimize contact with others. So it's true. You can still get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have cold symptoms, as long as they're mild. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
I was looking over some chickens, and I see these big poof bags. This means these bags were left without refrigeration.
This TikTok video with nearly 2 million likes claims frozen chicken in puffed up bags is spoiled. The viral post has spread to Twitter, where users claim that puffed up bags can be attributed to the meat deteriorating and releasing gas. So let's verify. Does frozen chicken in puffed up packaging mean the meat is spoiled? Our sources are Purdue Foods, the National Chicken Council, and the United States Department of Agriculture. The woman in the viral video is standing next to a bag of Purdue chicken. The company sells its chicken in a variety of packaging, including frozen in bags. Packaging methods for meat and poultry must be approved by the United States Department of Agriculture. According to Purdue, the puffiness of the bag is a USDA-approved packing method that pumps ambient air into the bag before sealing it. In an email to Verify, a spokesperson for the company explained that the puffiness of the bags actually indicates the packaging is properly sealed. The National Chicken Council agreed that the frozen chicken packaging seen in the video is a USDA-approved process with no food safety concern. According to the USDA, a consumer can tell if chicken is spoiled by looking for changes in the poultry's smell, taste, or texture. It says meat or poultry may turn a dark color, smell badly, and become slimy due to spoilage bacteria. It does not say anything about the packaging as an indicator of spoilage. So we can verify, no. A puffed up bag of frozen chicken doesn't mean the poultry is spoiled. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Listen, this past couple of years has been so crazy. Let's express gratitude for this year and all of the amazing gifts that are coming in 2022.
This year, let's try and put aside all of our differences and just be together and really Be present in the moment.
From the Showman's Happy Holidays.
From me and my family, we truly want to thank you over the years how much support you've given me and our whole team.
I know the holiday season can be difficult for some, and I just want to let you all know that you're not alone, and I'm wishing you a holiday season full of love and light.
From all of us here at Daily Blast Live,
We want to wish you
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And a healthy new year.
and my baby said happy holidays.
I'm like teary-eyed.
Yes.
Family.
Absolutely we are. It's a weird thing where we started the show and we were kind of, I remember when we got the news that it was the show and like I got texts like congrats and I was like, who is this?
Yeah, it was like
because it was just like a 312 number and now literally when I have something to talk about in terms of like with my daughter, like life and death, I call Erica. When I have something to talk about spiritually, I call Sam. When I just want to laugh a little bit, I'll call Tori or Jeff. And I really appreciate you guys as my family. So just looking at that, it makes perfect sense.
We're lucky. We
Very
really
lucky.
are. And our viewers, it's so interesting. I know people like hear other like hosts or talk show hosts say our viewers are family. Our viewers are legit family.
Yeah.
Like we love you guys and we wish you the best Christmas, holiday, and a healthy new year.
Absolutely.
If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. You can watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. Lisa Rinna's daughter wants her mom to foot the bill for her trauma therapy. We want to hear from you. Is she in the right? And Brooke Shields bears all in her new interview why she claims her sex life continues to evolve at 56.
Political fights are full of spin. That's why we verify, so you get just the facts. Right now on social media, the big fight is about gerrymandering. That's when congressional maps are drawn to benefit one party. Democrats point to districts like this one in Texas, whereas Republicans, including Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, point to the congressional map of Maryland. So let's verify, is partisan gerrymandering legal? Our sources are the Brennan Center for Justice, the Supreme Court case of Rucho versus Common Cause, and this trio of political experts who say political gerrymandering has a long history in this country.
It was named after a governor. Elbridge Gerry is actually his name, but we've softened the G over time. He was able to draw a district that the reporters very quickly noticed looked a little bit like a salamander, so they called it a Gerrymander.
And since then, this process has been replicated many times and by both parties.
Both Democrats and Republicans do this.
Whether you're deep blue Illinois or, a red state like Texas, all parties and in all states at some point over time have utilized partisan gerrymandering.
And in 2019, the Supreme Court weighed in, ruling that partisan gerrymandering could not be challenged in the court, and that the process was up to the states. And while some states have created neutral political commissions, 33 still leave this process to the state legislatures. So we could verify that yes, partisan gerrymandering is allowed. But there are limits. The Voting Rights Act protects against gerrymandering meant to discriminate against race, although that could be hard to prove.
Partisanship is sometimes tied to race, and if states can gerrymander based on partisanship, they're also able to gerrymander based on race.
Here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verify.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No. Y'all just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. All right, Tori just found her bag.
Thank you.
To get into the building, and it was a whole ordeal. Okay.
We're good.
All right, let's get to Brooke Shields. She's bearing all about her sex life. So Brooke, who is 56, recently revealed to Yahoo Life, she looks fantastic, by the way, that she looks at sex differently now than she did in her 20s. Watch.
Sex for me has really evolved. I
20s, I was always terrified of it because I was a virgin until I was 22. You know, I thought I was committing an offense to, you know, humanity for being a Catholic, not married, and I had so much guilt. And it wasn't until my 40s that I started thinking of sex as my experience, not someone else's experience that I just navigated.
Brooke also said she wants her teen daughters to feel more in control of their own sexual experience. That's interesting. What do you think about Brooke's sex evolution and then what she wants for her teens?
I look at Brooke Shields as someone who was exploited at a very young age. I mean, she was directed to act out sexually, and then she was shamed for it for quite some time. So there's really no wonder in why she would have reservations about how she viewed sex or how sex played a part in her life. But at the end of the day, she's clearly had this evolution and been able to shepherd her daughters to take ownership, because when you don't take ownership, you're not admitting exactly what you're doing. When you are sexually active, it also heightens the risk of not protecting yourself, because you can't be ready to protect yourself from something that you're not ready to admit that you're doing.
That's very true. I also want to say women over 50 have still got it. I mean, come on, let's just say they're the new, like, people are like, oh, over 50. Sex is great for them, I've heard, okay? Just honestly. But second, I'd like to say
Where did you hear that?
From people.
Okay.
I do want to say, secondly, I like the language you use, speaking about words manifesting. I want to own my sexual experience. And earlier, we were talking about, like, losing my virginity, taking my virginity.
Right.
Owning that is a word I had not thought of. And just like you guys always tell me, words manifest. It is a different thing when you have agency over it. I have choices over it. I have preferences, but it's not like somebody took it away from me. So I think that was helpful to me. Yeah. Very helpful.
I agree. And you're right. It's not something that you guard, your virginity. And also, I think it's inherent upon this generation, our generation, that's raising children, to not repeat things that we were taught that were not correct. Even if the people that we were taught by, we still love and respect, we'd be like, I don't know about that, uncle. I don't know about that, granny. You know, we kind of filter that stuff. We take the stuff we liked and we put that into our kids, and the stuff that we didn't, we kind of remove that. And I think that's what she's doing with her daughters here. So good on her.
I'm nervous about navigating that with my Sophie and Miles. It's so funny how we always think about the daughter when we should think about the boys too, right? Or the young men, whatever. But I get nervous because I want to teach Sophie at some point, and I'll have to consult with some sort of psychologist, because I don't know when is age appropriate, because I don't want them to think it's okay to be sexually active, but I also don't want them to be fearful and then not protect themselves. So I know you taught sex ed. Right. I don't know when that talk is supposed to happen, or if you just date.
Well, it's different for everybody. And like teaching sex ed, I did realize that, like, when I used to put the old video on, The Miracle of Life, and some students would be like, oh my gosh, turning away, and other students would be sitting there like, all right. You know, because they're at different stages of development, because we are all different. So just understand that all you can do for Sophie, all you can do for Miles, is just like give them the tools that when they are ready, they will have a chance to realize they're ready, and you'll have given them the tools. But you can't figure out the day it's going to happen.
Right. All right. Wow. I love that I went to Al for sex and parenting advice.
Oh.
But no,
I taught 47 graders at a time about sex ed. Yes, it's a real thing.
Okay, so Billie Eilish, speaking of sex, is opening up about it. Speaking to Howard Stern, Billie said she started watching adult films when she was only 11, but now finds that pornography is a disgrace. She added that when she started having sex, she didn't say no to things because she thought that was what she was supposed to be attracted to. She also said the films often distort how women's bodies are supposed to look. I'm so glad she's bringing this up. You have a serious look on your face. What are you thinking?
I don't think Howard Stern was the appropriate place for this conversation about how an 11-year-old girl was watching pornography, as pornography is used as a tool to groom.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit well with you at all.
But it's like, unfortunately or fortunately, this is the only place where people usually open up.
Right.
You know, if she's pushing a new album, she's not going to talk about this. Howard Stern does give people a chance to open up about abuse, drug issues, and things like that. But I completely agree. Eric, I think the question is, for our society, is like, when do you have this conversation, and with who? Because I have a 13-year-old son who's more childlike, and my daughter, who's not an adult at all, is further along than him. So how do I navigate that? As an adult and as a parent, I think we need to say we don't know. But, you know, I definitely get your trepidation when you're talking about Billie Eilish, because the sexualization of our children is something we don't talk about in this country. We did a story about, remember the OnlyFans when the bad Barbie Catch Me Outside from Dr. Phil, when she turned 18 and she made $1 million on OnlyFans? What's that about?
Right.
You know, but we just gloss past that. There's a hypersexualization of our children, and then we act like we don't know what they're talking about, and then some weird group starts focusing on pedophilia for some reason, but never the pedophilia that's really going on. So here we go.
Right.
Yeah.
So until we're ready to have that conversation, we should probably do the next story, because our country just isn't ready, and I don't know when that's ever going to happen.
Wow, there's so many layers to what you just unpacked.
But we're sitting in a marinade of just disinformation.
I would only hope that eventually, maybe in 2022, we do more shows that maybe special one-off.
And we just go deep,
town halls, whether it's, you know, unpacking police brutality or unpacking hypersexualization of children, because none of us are experts. I mean, Erica has worked very closely with children of trauma, but we would have to, and I'm sure you could point us in the right direction, have like a psychologist, a child psychologist,
but what about an adult psychologist? The children aren't the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's the creepy dads
that's why
on the internet. You know, it's like the kids are fine. I remember like growing up, like seeing you would go to a bar and you'd see a countdown clock to when the Olsen twins were turning 18.
Or Britney Spears.
And Howard Stern was a big part of that.
Let's talk about Brooke Shields at Blue Lagoon. I'm talking about Brooke Shields. She was like 14 in
She
that.
was,
Disgusting.
Didn't we just do a story about the Barbara Walters interview with her on Friday?
Yeah, I know. With her Calvin Klein, I believe it was a campaign.
Right.
All right, so Lisa Rinna's daughter, Delilah, has an unusual Christmas wish. Last month, the 23-year-old model revealed on TikTok she developed a dependency on Xanax for her panic attacks after a doctor overprescribed the medication, and now she wants her parents' help. She posted a video on TikTok with the caption, "Unrealistic things I want for Christmas." Having her parents pay for her trauma therapy is the main one, and it got a lot of response. What do you think?
I have to be really honest here. I was a kid that went through clinical depression in Michigan, not to take this to Bummertown, and I never asked for help.
No, you're talking to Real Town.
And I finally broke down and said, oh, I need help. If a child is asking for help, pay it. You have enough money. This is not okay. Unreasonable to get paid for trauma therapy? Anytime a kid is asking for help, help. It doesn't matter what it is, something's underneath that. this feels so, I get that you're trying to make her her own person. Good for you. Not in this case. Pay for it.
I hate that we have to pay for it. I appreciate everything you're saying, but a lot of people
in our
aren't
society,
as affluent as Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin.
But in reality, she is, and she should do it.
But yes.
Well, and to that point that a lot of people aren't as affluent as her parents are, I think we also have to have realistic expectations and realistic conversations with our peers and people who are professionals, because the truth is a lot of our parents are just unhealed adults. And so when we are just
generational trauma,
everybody just said yes in this
video. And I don't mean just like that's, you know, the totality of who they are, but I think a lot of times there's a lot of anger about missteps that our parents or, you know, our caregivers have done, and that's absolutely contributed to some of our trauma. But we aren't looking at their trauma and saving grace for that. So when we look at our parents and say, well, you did this, you broke me, now fix me. It's like, well, they're still broken, and they're coming from a generation that didn't believe in therapy and didn't believe in all of these things that were supposed to heal what's happening, you know, above the shoulders.
But now that we know better, don't you think she should pay for it?
But sometimes when you have trauma, and not to bring it to Mama June and
Honey Boo
Boo, their names are escaping me, their real names, but you know, Mama June did not protect her family when, you know, the boyfriends, the molestation charges and all that were occurring, because we had found out, she was actually on the Dr. Drew show with us, we had found out that she also endured that. So for her, it was a trigger, and she pushed it away, and a lot of people on the surface see it and they go, what a horrible mother, let's throw her away, let's lock her up, when in reality, she herself is a victim as well. So that's to your point.
They both need therapy.
Yeah.
And also, we know Mama June, and we know Catch Me Outside because they were on daytime television to be exploited by that audience. They weren't there to be helped. They brought that 15-year-old girl on to make fun of her and call her a slut. I think I can say that, and a drug addict. And and they did the same. Look how fat they are. Look at the sugar they put in their food. They were not on television to be fixed. So everybody's hands are dirty in this. If you watched those exploitative programs that were on every day at 4 o'clock. So let's keep it 100.
Well said. Coming up on DBL, her mother left when she was just 16. We're chatting live with author Diane Danvers on if she was ever able to forgive.
Closed captioning provided by
but she is an author who wrote a book about her unique childhood. Her mom left her and her father when she was 16, and she bought the house next door and was moving in with hot college men as a 60-year-old woman. So Diane continued to see her mother at times, but was truly abandoned by her. She did forgive her, but she has since passed away. So yeah, we're going to ask her the reason for leaving, how their relationship changed, what it was like visiting her home. And the hardest part of her being gone, and if she thinks she behaved like a bad mother. Erica, you have that question. She's prepared for it, so don't feel like you have to lighten it up.
And am I saying this right? Diane Danvers Simmons.
Yes.
Okay, good.
And I'll confirm with you when I get in there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, sorry about that.
I was thinking it was Dr. Phil he was talking about. Am I right? Someone wrote Erica's spot on, but no one in media would ask the risque questions other than Howard Stern, which is an interesting take. That is interesting.
No, I think, when I say that, I'm sure, I come from a radio background, so I understand, why people are listening to radio, especially programming like Howard Stern. But the moment that comes up, and then of course that's a big, it's a hot button for the interview, and without context, then it kind of lays it out there for 11-year-olds to think that it's perfectly okay to watch pornography.
You are totally right.
Now, we brought up earlier the idea of little boys or little girls sneaking into their parents' room and finding a Playboy or something like that. Is that appropriate at 11? No, it's not appropriate.
But it's not hardcore pornography.
It's not hardcore pornography either, and I think that's something, especially because it's used as a grooming tool to normalize sexualized behavior in children.
I didn't know that.
It's a conversation that we should be having other than oh, she started watching porn at 11.
Right, or is porn bad? Because that's not.
When is a parent done being a parent? For Diane Danvers Simmons, the answer is age 16. That's when her mother left and moved in with college students. Diane is sharing her story in her new book, My Mother Next Door. And today she joins us live. Diane, thank you so much for joining our show and just being so open and real with us. We appreciate you. So walk us through what happened. How did your mom leave?
Well, first of all, thank you. And listening to what you've been talking about, this segment is so perfect for my book. A week after my 16th birthday, I arrived home from school, normal mother in Atlanta, when my 60-year-old Irish Catholic mother announced to me over a cup of tea that she was done and she was going to leave the next day and move to the house she'd gone and bought directly next door. Now, I clearly didn't believe her in that moment. But the next day, we all had Saturday jobs. So the next day on the Saturday, I get home from school, deathly silence, no note, no number, nothing. And it hits me. She's gone and done it. So she basically moved next door to start a whole new life with, as I say, these bunch of hot college students that she'd been renting her house out to. But not only did she do that, I went, obviously, to find out, have you really left, Mum? She hadn't told my father. So that night, when my dad came home from work, I had to be the bearer of her lunacy. I had to tell him.
Oh as a mother, my heart is breaking for you to have endured that. What was did you ever find out what her exact reason was for leaving? Did she tell you why she was done?
Yeah, my mother was a brutally honest person. And in her mind, and I remember these words so well, she said to me, I've given you and your father 16 years of my life, and I'm done. And, you know, she wanted her independence back. And to her, these were her endearing words. And I write about this in a very English way with English and Irish humor, because she said to me, you know, you're big and ugly enough to take care of yourself and your dad and your dog. Because she had left Ireland at age 16. Wow. So in her mind,
just like Erica
it was
said.
okay.
Yep. Right.
Wow. Yep. You know, and so that's this story, you know, you talk about unpacking why our parents do the things they do. That's why I wrote this story.
Wow.
Because until you delve deep, until you are willing to really try and get to the root cause of people's behavior, you'll never know.
Generational trauma. Wow, this episode is crazy connected. I wanted to just...
It is.
Right?
The synergy here is incredible.
And people are writing in. Someone said, I'd never watched the show before. Thank you for talking about real items and issues. I do have to ask you, paint the picture of what it was like when you went over to your mom's new house. Like, was she partying? Was she a different person? And how did your relationship change?
It definitely changed. It was surreal. It was, you know, it was like I was kind of hovering, observing this new world that my AKA mother, this new woman, was living in. You know, the tension had eased. And even though she was still very opinionated, strong-minded, I didn't have to deal with this conflict 24/7 between her and my father, all the siblings, the blended family, and everything else. And I saw this transformation in her. It's like she lit up. And I kind of describe her as this, you know, Irish vaudeville kind of act where I was enjoying the frivolity of this new woman.
Wow.
She wasn't just my mother anymore.
She was just new.
But, yeah, she was new. But let's be honest, I also had the added attraction of these college students to go and see. So that kind of added a little bit of levity to the whole situation. But it was, I mean, I think about it now. I have daughters, sons. It was bizarre. It was like she'd abandoned me, albeit next door. So I kind of had this, you know, feeling of it was convenient, a blessing and a curse, because it was convenient. Remember, she was Irish, so a blessing or a curse was always part of her language. But I had no choice to roll with it. I'd grown up with this character, this different kind of magical woman on one hand, but, you know, volatile on another. And this new life seemed to fit her because it was very much, if you think about this, the convenience of having her next door.
Sure.
But the inconvenience and pain of witnessing this, having it slapped in my face every single day, that she was now taking care of a bunch of young guys.
So, Diane, do you consider her, when you characterize it, do you characterize it as her being a bad mother?
You know, it's interesting. A lot of people have asked me this question. And no.
Wow.
She wasn't a bad mother for leaving. She was a bad mother for the way she did it.
Wow.
Well,
because she left me to carry her burden and be her vocal piece, so to speak. You know, I was the go-between between this big, crazy blended family.
Well, that was a lot of weight.
I had to tell my father.
That was just so much weight to put on you. So I had to ask you before we wrap, do you forgive your mother? Because I could understand either way.
Yes, I do, because I never actually remember blaming her. Her story, her personality are both complex, and I go back into her background so you can understand. And I came to understand why she did the things she did. But, you know, I don't write this as a story of sadness. I write it as it celebrates the human spirit. The fact that we need to open up more. We need to take the time to understand who our mothers were, who they are now, and maybe what their dreams are in the future.
Wow. So
and
many
how
layers.
That impacts us.
Wow. So many
layer
layers.
Upon layer.
Yep, we got to read your book. In fact, DBL Nation, to learn more about Diane and her mother's story, please visit the website, Mothers and Daughters, Unfiltered.com. You can also purchase her book, My Mother Next Door. It's anywhere books are sold. Wow. You are a remarkable woman. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diane.
I really appreciate it.
Is your credit score?
Some school districts are starting to mandate students get the COVID-19 vaccine. One group opposed to the vaccine mandate in San Diego schools posted this picture on Instagram that has almost 2,000 likes, claiming a district is using syringe icons next to students' names to track vaccination status. The group claims the system violates their rights under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, better known as HIPAA. So let's verify. Are school districts subject to HIPAA rules? Our sources are the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. HIPAA is a federal law that protects a patient's sensitive health information from being shared without their knowledge. The CDC and HHS saying it only applies to 3 covered entities: healthcare providers, health plans, and clearinghouses, like billing companies. School districts are not on the list. In fact, HHS explicitly says, quote, the privacy rule will not provide protections to the immunization records maintained by a school because the school is not a HIPAA-covered entity. So it's false that school districts are subject to HIPAA rules, although some states and local governments may have their own privacy rules that limit the sharing of student immunization records. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
If you're hoping to avoid the holiday weight gain this season, listen up. Tori, don't say that. We're chatting about it on DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. Exercise snacking is a perfect way to ensure you fit enough exercise into your busy holiday schedule. They recommend doing short bursts, like little exercise, like snacking bursts of 2 to 3 times a day. You could do 5 minutes of squats while cooking, that's easy, or jumping jacks in between wrapping presents, and then it all adds up. And QB is another great way to get in some quick exercise. So try their under desk elliptical at home, call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Omicron being named a variant of concern. Health officials are encouraging people to get vaccinated and boosted against COVID-19. As cold and flu season ramps up, recent online searches show some people are wondering if they can still get their vaccine shots if they're experiencing cold symptoms. So let's verify. Is it safe to get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have a cold? Our sources are the CDC, the White House, Dr. Katrina Miller-Parrish, a family physician at LA Care Health Plan, and Dr. William Schaffner at the Vanderbilt University School of Medicine.
If you have mild symptoms of a cold and are just feeling a little bit out of sorts, it's perfectly fine to go ahead and get your influenza vaccination or your COVID vaccination, whether it's your first dose or your third, it doesn't matter. Go ahead, get that vaccine.
However, if your symptoms are severe, like a fever over 100 degrees, Dr. Parrish tells Verify it's best to wait it out a bit.
There are 2 main times when you should not go get the vaccine. If you are so sick that you can barely get out the door, probably not a good time to be going out in public and probably not a good time to get the vaccine.
She says the other main time is if you have COVID-19 or have been exposed to it. Then she recommends staying home to minimize contact with others. So it's true. You can still get the COVID-19 vaccine or booster if you have cold symptoms, as long as they're mild. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
I was looking over some chickens, and I see these big poof bags. This means these bags were left without refrigeration.
This TikTok video with nearly 2 million likes claims frozen chicken in puffed up bags is spoiled. The viral post has spread to Twitter, where users claim that puffed up bags can be attributed to the meat deteriorating and releasing gas. So let's verify. Does frozen chicken in puffed up packaging mean the meat is spoiled? Our sources are Purdue Foods, the National Chicken Council, and the United States Department of Agriculture. The woman in the viral video is standing next to a bag of Purdue chicken. The company sells its chicken in a variety of packaging, including frozen in bags. Packaging methods for meat and poultry must be approved by the United States Department of Agriculture. According to Purdue, the puffiness of the bag is a USDA-approved packing method that pumps ambient air into the bag before sealing it. In an email to Verify, a spokesperson for the company explained that the puffiness of the bags actually indicates the packaging is properly sealed. The National Chicken Council agreed that the frozen chicken packaging seen in the video is a USDA-approved process with no food safety concern. According to the USDA, a consumer can tell if chicken is spoiled by looking for changes in the poultry's smell, taste, or texture. It says meat or poultry may turn a dark color, smell badly, and become slimy due to spoilage bacteria. It does not say anything about the packaging as an indicator of spoilage. So we can verify, no. A puffed up bag of frozen chicken doesn't mean the poultry is spoiled. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Welcome back to DBL. So many comments. Tori.
Yeah, I just want to say, Chris Manfredi wrote in a beautiful statement. Sometimes parents just don't know how to be parents, even though they want to be a good parent. That says a lot, and I thought that was well said.
And how, like, divine intervention was it to have her on the show when we were talking about everything we did.
And good producers.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.